Hello and welcome to Cut to the Bull in a Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing Chernobyl Part 2, where we'll finish off the tale and the aftermath and all the horrible things that went on after. And that was a phone.
I'm sorry.
Already.
Literally
30 seconds in.
19 seconds in.
Sorry.
Let's start with some of the top cities that have been listening to us this week. Sao Paulo in Brazil, thank you. Somewhere in the Dominican Republic, can't pronounce that one. Bogota in Colombia. Bogota, sorry. Dagobah.
Podgorica, Montenegro.
Wow, Islamabad, Pakistan. Big Spring in Texas. Cordoba in Mexico. Quezon City in the Philippines. Krasnodar in the Russian Federation, seems ironic this week. Somewhere in Indonesia, well done. A few from the Philippines, like that, thank you Philippines. Mexico City, Santa Ana, Costa Rica, and Flint, Michigan back to the top.
Wow. Thank you everybody for your support.
Yeah, absolutely. 13 listens in Mexico this week. It's not bad.
We're going.
Yeah. Let's start with some weird news, and this will take us sort of 20 minutes, half an hour. Just some random stuff we found on the net this week, thought we'd have a laugh about.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
What's up first then, Mike? Metal thieves, not metal thieves, just metal thieves, steal a railway bridge in Russia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't mess about, do they?
They don't. A criminal case has been launched in Russia's Arctic region of Murmansk after suspected metal thieves made off with a railway bridge. Local prosecutors say the unknown perpetrators removed a metal structure 23 metres long and weighing 56 tonnes from the bridge, its main central span.
Where the fuck did they...
Have the time?
Yeah, and where did they take it? How did they manoeuvre it? 56 tonnes?
There must have been
on a lorry.
A lot of lorries.
There must be some very noisy equipment involved, and do you know what I mean? Somebody must have had to turn a blind, or is this very remote fucking?
It's not just
Yeah.
some guy on the off chance thinking, no one's about,
No.
nick that bridge.
He didn't.
It's been planned.
He didn't sling it over the back of his fucking donkey,
Yeah.
and
His yak in the Arctic Circle.
I'm guessing there were trucks involved and pneumatic drills and all kinds of. There must have been a crew of people.
Well, this is probably an old Soviet bridge, and while the Soviets weren't very good at building nuclear reactors, they were not bad at building bridges.
Did he just? Oh, I see.
You know, it was all built to last, wasn't it?
Right.
Apart from your nuclear reactor. But it's disused.
Right.
So it's located in a remote forest near the abandoned settlement of Okudbskaya, possibly, around 100 miles south of the regional capital of Murmansk. The tracks were lifted up, so it's just kind of there.
Oh. Well, fair play to him then.
Yeah.
It's not as if some train's going to come along in the morning, then, is it? Go doo 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 doo. Oh, splash!
Thomas isn't going in the water then. Oh bother, said Thomas.
Down the mine, what a joke! Bless him. So yeah, so it's kind of a victimless crime.
Well, they brought it down apparently. There's still part of it resting in the middle of the river, so they brought it down and then took it apart.
Ah, well, fair play to him.
I like this, the Russian writer said, who cares, this isn't Germany. Despite the apparently spectacular nature of the theft, the damage caused is estimated at only 600,000 rubles, which is $9,000.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It was worth a go.
The theft of metal objects by thieves interested in their scrap value has long been a problem in Russia. In 2017, a 10-centimetre long Soviet-era anti-aircraft missile exploded at a recycling centre, apparently after being sold for scrap.
10 metre.
10 metre. Yes, sorry, 10 metre. Well, Oh, that looks a bit missile-y. You think that looks a bit missile-y? Do you think we should get someone in to look at that? Yet.
Yep, it's metal. I sell the fucking thing. Oh, shit.
At least it wasn't a nuclear anti-aircraft missile.
Yeah, that would have stuck.
That would have...
Imagine, just like you say, probably was literally just a rocket-shaped rocket, and then just sling it with the rest, and it was just thrown, like dropped from a crane into a pile, and then it blew up, and they're like, oh, I did not expect that. You should have.
That bit actually worries me a lot, because like, how much stuff have they gone missing? If they're not missing an anti-aircraft missile, Soviet era or not, that's the kind of thing you should keep locked up, isn't it?
Or definitely have a list of how many you've got.
Yeah.
And serial numbers and stuff. If you've got to have paperwork for your car, one could probably argue that you should probably have paperwork for your anti-aircraft missile launcher as well.
Yeah. This is our launcher. We've got 50 missiles, so it's only 49. Yeah, it'll be alright, this isn't Germany.
Yeah, fuck it.
The same country that lost their nuclear briefcases.
There is that, yeah.
They've got a bit of a history, haven't they?
Wow.
They do have a history of losing things.
And they let Chernobyl blow up. But more on that later.
Isn't there it's that Bond film with Pierce Brosnan where he's infiltrated the arms dealer market and they're like, oh wait, that's a Soviet nuclear torpedo right there, because they're going to airstrike it and take out all these arms dealers in one go, and he's like, oh, that's going to set off that. And I think it's Judi Dench's M turns around to this Russian guy and goes, can't you people keep anything locked up? Fucking great.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
Well,
so there you go. They're stealing bridges in Russia.
Yeah.
Thing is, they're like, oh yeah, it's only 600,000 rubles. Yeah, but still a fucking lot of money.
Still a bridge that's not there anymore.
That's it.
Well, lock up your bridges.
Lock up your bridges. Lock up your anti-aircraft missiles as well, you fuckers. And your briefcase bombs. I don't care if it's only a megaton. I don't fancy going off next to my face.
No, me either.
Okay, moving on.
It's a bit more light-hearted.
Aussie bloke in underwear chases off intruder with didgeridoo.
How Australian can you get?
There probably aren't many of you with the balls to chase off an intruder, and for good reason, let's face it, but I'll bet there are even fewer who'd be able to do so while stripped down to your undies.
Well, if I'm in my undies and I'm going to chase him off, I'm in my undies, aren't I? You know, there's not much I can do about that. I'm not stopping to put my jeans on.
That's exactly what one brave Aussie bloke in Adelaide did, and he even armed himself with a didgeridoo, just to add to the already brilliant visual image you all have. In fact... Oh, there is a video.
Oh, it's a reenactment.
It's just him reenacting it, yeah. He put his trousers on this time, though. I don't know why they've got to reenact him running down the street with a didgeridoo, but they have.
Kim A. Brook had been awoken at around 4 a.m. after hearing noises inside his home in Fulham Gardens. After bravely going to investigate, A. Brook came across an intruder who was on his way out of the house, which was when A. Brook grabbed the didgeridoo and chased him out of the property. Police arrived shortly after and set up condoms or cordons.
Just some condoms up the trees and the fence. Police area, mate. Can you not see the condoms? The condoms are clearly on the tree, mate. Do not cross the condom line.
I like to think that they're yellow with police line on them.
Maybe they're used to discourage
Yeah, maybe,
people.
yeah.
Bloody used, mate. Don't touch those. Well, sorry.
From Adelaide's most dirty brothel.
Yes, the police didn't set up condoms, they set up cordons in the area, where the suspect, a 32-year-old man, was later found by a police dog called Nero.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
According to Adelaide Now, the man was allegedly in possession of a wallet and cash which had been stolen during the break-in. He was then arrested and charged with aggravated serious criminal trespass and theft. There we go.
Well, it's just a shame he didn't get twatted with a didgeridoo.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I thought so. I thought, wow, fantastic. Do you reckon if you like bludgeoned his skull in with it, it would be making that noise, like the air going through it as you're bringing it down onto his head over and over again?
You beat him to death with it, then you hold it over him, and his escaping soul passes through the didgeridoo and plays a death note.
Yeah.
Now that's fucking metal.
Yeah.
Oh well, for the next album we make, if anybody's willing to be beaten to death by me, Ben and Mike and 3 didgeridoos so we can record the sound of your soul escaping through one, please email us.
Yeah, we're going to need that consent.
Yes, we're going to need you on video giving that consent.
Yeah.
And written.
And we'll also need you to meet us somewhere in international waters.
Yeah. SeaWorld, Sealand.
Sealand. No, I don't know if that's sovereign territory, unless murder's legal. They may take it. Well, just give them some money, I suppose.
We're definitely going to do Sealand one day.
We just need to hire a boat, go in the middle of the ocean and do it there.
No, I mean, we're going to do an episode on it because, like, they've, like, people have tried to invade him and stuff and he's fought them off with guns.
We went off on a massive tangent about it in one episode.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, good on this. He looks like a bit like my dad, but in better condition and wielding a didgeridoo. So good luck to him. And
I wouldn't mess with him.
No.
Either.
It's an impressive beard he's got.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay, I'll do this one. Wyoming man, quote, from the future, warns about alien invasion, but gets arrested.
Well, the police are in on it, aren't they?
Fucking shills. A Wyoming man told police that he travelled back in time from the future and had come to warn the Casper. Who are the Casper?
I don't know.
They'd come to warn the Casper about a pending alien invasion. Police responded to a call about a man claiming to be from the future at around 10:30 p.m. local time and found Bryant Johnson, 27. Oh, Casper is the area. Casper police said in an affidavit that he appeared to be under the influence, you're telling me. When he spoke to the police, Johnson said he was actually from the year 2048, claiming an alien invasion would take place next year. He told residents to leave as soon as possible and demanded to talk to the president.
Of the town.
Oh, of the town.
Aren't they called mayors?
Probably. So he's from the future, Mike. It's all changed at that point.
And he's really high on drugs. I want to talk to like the top guy in like the president of the town. You know. Like, fuck it, you mean the mayor? No, the president of the town. Fucking knobhead. Anyway, take me to your leader is essentially what he's saying. Prick.
Let's go with that.
So cliched. Anyway, he would talk to no one else other than the town president. Officials quoted Johnson as saying that he was able to time travel with the help of aliens.
Presumably not the aliens who've invaded us.
Well,
some other aliens, presumably.
So, is he a fucking deserter and he's joined the other side?
He may have done.
Is he like
Is he Italian?
Hey! Is he like the T-101 in Terminator? He's been reprogrammed by the Resistance. So this human's been reprogrammed and sent back in time to save some other alien. I've lost it.
Yeah.
So
to warn us all about the impending
You're saying
invasion.
he's Kyle Reese, basically.
Yeah.
Got it.
I hope not.
But he's working for the aliens.
Or some other aliens. We don't know if these are the same aliens that have invaded.
There could be lots of factions. But anyway, the officials record him saying that he had to stand on a pad and that the aliens filled his body with alcohol. But they had sent him to the wrong year as originally planned.
They fucked it up.
Bloody aliens, can't trust them.
Dear. Johnson had watery red eyes and slurred speech, police reported in the affidavit, and he smelled of booze. Well, what do you think then, Inspector?
Well, my deductive powers are telling me.
This guy's tired and needs a good night's
He
sleep.
needs to lie down.
Yeah. An initial reading of his blood alcohol level came in at 1.36, almost twice the legal level to drive. Still not that much though. I bet if you tested me and Ben at certain nights, we'd be 18 times
Ben
over
would
the
break
legal.
it. Ben would break the fucking
machine
reading.
would
Yeah.
explode.
I am hurt.
The needles would melt in his arm.
I am hurt.
Quick, get this man alcohol.
I'll just have one more.
Oh dear. He got really ill once because he got some blood in his alcohol stream. Dad jokes. Anyway, so this guy was fucking slaughtered essentially, and he thought he could get out of his... Hang on. There's a twist in the tale. I was about to rip him a new one, and Mike scrolled down and it says...
Oh, there's a different dude.
Yeah, that's another article.
Well, we'll stick to the first one. He's a pisshead who tried to claim that aliens filled him with alcohol in order to make the time travel work.
Probably preserves him.
And he wants to talk to the town president.
I've been really drunk in the past.
Me too.
At no point have I ever been so drunk I'm claiming I've come back from the future to warn everyone about an alien invasion.
Do you think there might be something else in this system that they've not detected? Mushrooms, perhaps?
Possibly.
Psychiatric drugs that he should be taking but isn't.
Yeah, he's just a pisshead, isn't he? But one of these days, one of these stories is going to turn out to be true. And here's the problem, it's like the boy that cried wolf though, isn't it? We've got so many of these fucking attention-seeking knobheads who claim to be from the future, right? And so when somebody does come back from the future to warn us, we're all just going, oh, it's just another fucking internet bell end. Isn't it?
He's like, no, I'm telling you the truth.
Oh, it's really the truth, but oh yeah, get in your cell, and then the alien nukes will fall. And he'll be there in his cell, I fucking told you about fucking aliens. Yeah, fuck this guy. Well, I think that concludes the weird news.
Yeah. Right, we'll move on to the main thrust of today's topic.
Oh yeah.
And I have to start with a correction. Last week's episode we went through a simplified version of how the reactor blew.
Right.
The versions that we watched didn't mention anything about a gas build-up. And so I thought I would correct us and go through it again very briefly. And lead us on. It's worth remembering, it's worth going through it again, how it all went tits up.
Yeah.
Basically, they want to run a safety test on reactor 4, the one that exploded. It's been running at half power all day because the people in Kiev said, can't drop it any lower than that, we need that. So the test gets passed on to the night shift, who don't know how to do the test. Worse, the instruction book saying on how to do the test has got bits crossed out in it.
Redacted. Even the instructions were redacted.
Yeah. So they were actually ringing people up saying, do we do this bit? This bit's crossed out, are we doing that?
You're not privy to that information, comrade. Europe might die? Know your role. Yes, I just quoted The Rock.
So if the test hadn't been delayed, what was it, 10 hours, was it?
10 hours, yeah.
May not have occurred.
No, but the thing is, well, yeah, because the day shift are probably a bit more experienced. I mean, all these guys in the control room do, remember, is keep things at a steady output.
Yeah.
The donkey goes too low, they up it. Goes too high, they drop it. You just exercise control
Keeping it
over the reactor.
ticking over, nice and safe.
Yeah. And Dyatlov, who was in charge, obviously, he wanted a bit of promotion. He was after the next step up.
Yeah. Ambitious,
and didn't really seem to give too many fucks about the people under him who weren't exactly clear on what he was doing. In fact, he just kept telling them to hurry up and stop procrastinating. That was used, that's testimony. He kept on telling them to stop procrastinating. You're being, get on with it.
Would you like a very quick factoid on procrastinating?
Go on then.
Officially in the English language, a female procrastinator is a procrastinatrix.
Wow.
Yes, and I live with fucking 3 of them. Make a decision!
And you never procrastinate.
No, I just make rash, bold decisions. And deal with the fucking consequences when they blow up in my face afterwards, because I'm a fucking man.
That's true, that's how we roll.
A silly, silly man. But I fucking don't stand there for 10 minutes dithering, do I?
Yes.
Do or die. And it's usually die. Back to Mr. Dyoltov, the ultimate procrastinator.
No, he just kept telling
the opposite.
everyone else that they were procrastinating. He was obviously God's gift to nuclear engineering.
He was the ultimate...
well, to be fair, in the room he was.
Well, he was God in that room, effectively.
But he didn't know his machine very well, did he? Because if he did, he would...
Well,
did any of them know that it had problems?
No, nobody knew the floor, you see. It was...
Right.
Yeah. Nobody knew that running it so low would produce problems. And that problem mainly is that as uranium reacts and produces heat, it produces a new element, which is xenon gas. Mike?
Or xenon.
Xenon gas, sorry. And when the core's running normally, it burns it away. Simple as. It's fine. But because the reactor's been held at half power for 10 hours, the xenon didn't burn away. It built up. It started to poison the core. It chokes the reactor. Now, when they're doing this test, the reactor goes down to 30 megawatts. They've virtually stored the reactor and its output. 205 out of 211 control rods have been withdrawn, Right, so that's the stuff that's stopping, should be controlling the speed and power output. And xenon poisoning of the core means they can only get the reactor back up to 200 megawatts.
Right.
The computer recommends they do an emergency shutdown. The ATLAB decides, well, the computer doesn't know we're running a test. That's why it's saying that.
I'm cleverer than the computer.
Yeah. Also worth pointing out that none of the guys in the pump rooms and the pipe rooms knew a test was going on. Because them pipes started to fucking jump when they decided to kickstart things. So the xenon dies away as the unchecked reactor now surges. They drop in the AZ5 button, which is the shutdown button, which drops all the control rods. At this point, the shutdown system has a fatal flaw, because this is the flaw with the reactor. Because the graphite tips are the ones that make the uranium start dancing and reacting faster, they're at the very tip of the rod, the rest of it is boron. That's so as the tips, reactor rods are lowered in and out, controls the speed, more graphite on show, faster reaction. This actually increases reactivity as the rods are dropped. The problem is that all the water that's left in the reactor turns to steam. That then blows the control rod channels, locking the graphite tip rods in place and not the boron bit. So basically, it endlessly accelerates the reaction. Now, reactor 4 was meant to operate at 3,200 megawatts, standard sort of thing. The last reading they got out of it was beyond 33,000 megawatts.
Yeah. So the energy spiked, didn't it? And
basically, yeah. It turned it into a nuclear bomb. A thermic reaction with the steam was the...
Yeah.
And then it went boom.
And the shit literally hit the fan.
Yes. Well, yes. Yeah, the steam hit the fan.
Yeah.
And it all went
The
a bit
shitty
down.
steam.
Shitty steam.
Hit the shitty fan.
The shitty fan.
You don't want a shitty fan.
You don't want to shit in a fan.
Stop flicking it on to people's faces. You don't want that.
No, you don't.
It's actually one of my favourite sayings. You know it's a good day when the shit hits the fan and you have time to duck.
Hey.
So, let's go crack on. That's my little correction. Let's move on to the main thrust of the story. Alright, so, now as we left Chernobyl last time, the miners had just gone in underneath into the flooded basements with no radiation protection, and had opened the valves, allowing the
Were
water
they
tanks.
miners?
Sorry, the divers.
Divers, yeah.
Divers had gone in. Sorry, miners come next. Miners, as in people who dig the earth, not
I was
children.
going to say we're talking about Chernobyl, not the Catholic Church.
Or the British government, but even so.
Or British television stars from the 1970s.
Probably now as well, in all fairness.
Yeah, got my eye on
So
you,
it's-
Schofield.
But as we quite happily found out at the end of last week's episode,
Yeah.
those three divers survived.
Yeah, they're heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. Saved countless millions of lives.
Well, they died like all humans do, didn't they? One of them.
2 are alive.
Yeah, but he didn't die immediately in the immediate aftermath.
No,
of the,
they told him you're going to have a week to live,
Yeah.
probably, and they didn't manage to survive. I assume they were just immediately fucking airlifted out of there and straight to a hospital and...
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
Just pause for a sec while I open a supermarket own brand lager.
You a co-op fucking hire and you just advertise their lager now.
Other generic own brand lagers are available.
It's probably the same as what I've got.
Oh yes, since you asked, Ben, it is co-op lager.
I've been drinking the premium one actually, Gaz.
Oh,
I'm drinking the Swedish cider company,
The Swedish side.
Elska.
Oh.
wow. I bet nobody in Sweden actually drinks it.
No.
It's from Aldi, so.
I love you, Aldi.
I love Aldi.
Me
I've
too.
got Carlin.
Hey, good old Carlin.
Know where
Ben's
you-
feeling patriotic.
Know where you
today.
are with Carlin, don't you?
Yeah. 10 cans of Carlin.
Funnily enough, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
Carlin, where's me darling?
That's it.
After 10 cans.
I had a bottle of Star of Pramen for that continental visage.
I used to get hornier the drunker I got, but now, unfortunately, as I'm nearly 40, I just want to go to sleep when I'm drunk.
Yeah, I find that.
Nice sleep.
I'm just going to go and pass out, to be fair. A couple of beers does nothing for the libido anymore.
Nope.
It just makes you want to go to sleep.
Yeah. It used to make me want to, like, you know, I'm drunk, let's do stuff. No.
With no shame.
Yeah. No.
There wasn't any shame in drunken sex. You just, I'll do fucking anything here. And now I have to be sober.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that, it's not nice to go wild. Anyway, right, so they have tipped in, they managed to get the sand, boron and lead, 5,000 to 6,000 tonnes of it, to cover over the reactor.
That was that sort of weird helicopter game we mentioned last episode where they've got to try and release it without getting too close to it and hope that the wind...
Pretty much, yeah, so they had to go in downwind, upwind of it and hope the wind did the rest.
Fuck it.
So the core is now covered with sand, boron and lead. But although the amount of radiation leaking is decreased, it is still leaking. All that's done is stop the core belching out a lot more than it was.
Right.
The core itself is still around 2,000 degrees. That's the fucking heat of this thing. This poses a problem which Legasov, who was the main Soviet scientist in charge of this operation, was only too aware was going to happen. He's like, basically he said, look, this is the way to stop it burning and to stop it belching out twice the amount of radiation the Hiroshima bomb did every hour, but that's going to create its own problem.
Right.
And the problem is that the sand, boron and lead have turned into a type of lava. Right? Because there's still 2,000 degrees of heat burning in the centre of this core. There's a chance that this lava will burn its way through the reinforced concrete floor
into the water table,
contaminating rivers and the Black Sea. That's the bit of the sea between sort of the Crimea and Turkey, that little sea there, which feeds into the Mediterranean, which in turn feeds into the Atlantic.
They would have to change the name to the Neon Sea, wouldn't they?
They would.
Just so I can get this totally clear in my head, you say it's the bit between Turkey and...
The Crimea.
Where's Turkey? And
It's
where's the Crimea?
Turkey
I'm joking, I know where Turkey is,
Right.
but where's the Crimea?
It's that little bit of Russia that sticks out right at the bottom, and Turkey's sort of across the sea from.
Okay. It's that little bit in there.
So when we had the Crimean War, Charge the Light Brigade, I'm Maiden fan.
I know the song.
You know the song, so it's good enough for me.
Yes, smell of acrid smoke and horse's breath.
As you plunge on into certain death.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The lyrics are silly, but it's a great fucking tune.
It's fucking amazing. Man, it's not silly. You take my life, but I'll take yours too.
Well, no, because it's...
You fire your musket, but I'll run you through. I love that.
You try fucking running someone through after you've been shot by a 50 caliber musket ball.
Could, easy.
Actually, saying that, a lot of people didn't die from wounds in those sort of wars.
Did it
Infection? I imagine it was
they died of infection after, but there was this one French general, I think he'd been wounded like 15 times by various musket balls and sabres and survived it all.
See, so did the guy in the song. No, he didn't.
You get shot by one of them though, it'll shatter your leg, it'll shatter the bone.
Yeah. Easy, I did it last week. I completed war. Completed it, mate. Done it. Finished it. Easy.
Fair enough.
On the hardest setting.
Wow.
Top score, mate.
Played Call of Duty, okay.
Top score.
So, what they did, to prevent this meltdown happening, was they drafted 400 miners.
Right.
Coal miners. Now, coal miners are a bit of an unusual breed in Russia.
Everyone is in Russia.
No, they were an unusual breed because they kind of had a power over the Soviet government. Because if they went on strike, whole country's going to stand still. They were known as being a bit belligerent, a bit sort of uppity.
Okay.
But
a bit precocious.
The point is like what they have to say, well, look, if you don't do this, then this is going to happen. They're like, well, all right then. So they had to dig a tunnel which was 168 metres in length, 12 foot underground, build a vast chamber underneath the reactor core by hand. They weren't allowed to use mechanical digging tools because that might upset the earth above them, which would just plunge the stuff straight down anyway.
They couldn't burn in atomic lava.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
They couldn't have fans because that would kick up the radioactive dust.
Quite hot down there, I imagine.
It was very hot down there to the point where most of them were naked while they were doing it. Because they give them the cotton suits.
That's so hardcore.
Yeah. There's a great bit in the series where the head miner just walks up to him and standing there and he's just completely naked. Just walks up to him and says, what do you want?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And he's like,
Why are you naked?
we've got our hats on. We
Safety
kept the hats
first.
on. And he's like,
The boots.
But he literally turned around to them and said, look, is it going to do anything? And they're like, nah, it isn't. Because there's a good bit in the show as well where they get the head of the miners in and they explain what needs to be done. And he's like, looks at their sort of respirator masks and he goes, do those work? And they're like, to a point. And he goes, bollocks, they work, you'd be wearing them.
Yeah.
Switched on.
Well, he's a miner. He knows about gases building up underground. One of the biggest threats of miners is building up gas, isn't it? So he hit the canary down with them back in the day. So they had to dig a tunnel, clear a chamber, and put in a heat exchanger. Now, a heat exchanger is just a fancy word for filling that hole with all of the liquid nitrogen in the Soviet Union.
Right. Okay.
I couldn't get a figure on that, but all of the liquid nitrogen in the Soviet Union.
And what's that meant to do?
That would cool it immediately. Think of the T-1000 getting blasted by the liquid nitrogen. It would just stop it dead.
How do they keep it cool?
It just react to the heat.
How do they keep the nitrogen a liquid? Because I mean, it's a gas at room temperature, isn't it?
I suppose that's why it's called a heat exchanger.
But I'm confused. So what are they planning to do? Just having something cold underneath it will hopefully cool it, or are they wanting it to fall through into the nitrogen?
They wanted to hit it's either keep it cool, or if it does go through, it's just going to fucking stop it dead.
Right. Why don't they pour it on it?
I don't know. Because you've got to fucking throw it down into the hole and...
Right. Because I'm still reading from last week's revelation that the nuclear fire will burn for thousands of years.
Yeah.
So liquid nitrogen ain't going to stop that thousands of years.
It was the best plan they had, I think, more than anything.
I suppose if they haven't really thought this through and really planned and weren't prepared for disaster at any stretch, this is a lot of thinking on your feet.
Yeah,
but
this
some
is
really complex fucking issues.
But you got to ask the question: why the fuck were these built without a contingency plan?
Well, because
Arrogance.
this didn't happen. As we
Human.
the quote the
It's
other
because we're
week.
human. There's always going to be.
I mean, I know there wasn't a lot of health and safety in the Soviet Union. You know what I mean?
But it's like that massive flaw of not knowing that it couldn't handle being run at low power. I suppose back then they weren't using. Oh God, I'll show my ignorance now. But this was in when 1970.
1986.
86, that's right. Were they complex computer models that they were able to run all these scenarios through?
No.
You know, I mean, it's strange, isn't it? Like, it was. It's just a series of human error, like, and a really bad sort of serendipity. Do you know what I mean? Like, it had this flaw, but it was all running fine because they didn't have a reason to run it on low power, did they? Because you want it running at a decent.
Yeah, you want it
level.
running at 3,200 megawatts, and that's kind of it.
So it's all down to this. Well, we're going to really test everything, and the flaw was exposed. But even not having a flaw, even without that knowledge, you'd still like to think, well, somebody thought to themselves, what if? You know, what are we going to do if? But I don't know whether people at the time, whether their attitude was, look, this is the fucking safest way. You can't fuck this up. They're designed, they're built, they work. I don't know. It's just, it's amazing, isn't it, that it was literally no. I hope there are now. I hope this completely changed.
They changed
the whole nuclear scene.
Well, eventually they were still operating with the flaw for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, I mean the last RBMK reactor was one of the reactors at Chernobyl. I can't remember if it was 1, 2 or 3. Shut down in 2000. Although that had probably been changed, had its flaw changed.
So are there safe ways of switching off, shutting down a?
Yeah, that AZ5 button should have just brought it all to a stop.
Right.
It's the emergency stop button on a nuclear reactor. That's the best way.
Lowers the rods in and it stops the reaction, doesn't it? Or minimises it to a minimum amount.
But because it was
stop it entirely, but
because it was full of water, because the pumps weren't on, that just superheated all the steam and accelerated the reaction.
And a little snippet I heard in the documentary I watched, I don't know how much this would have helped, but the roof wasn't built out of fire-resistant materials because they couldn't get hold of them, so he just used what he had, what he could get hold of.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
It's like Grenfell.
Built on time, quick. Yeah.
Poor bastards.
Yeah.
Well, it's worth pointing out that Western nuclear reactors didn't use this system of producing nuclear power,
Yeah.
and also had safety structures built around the reactor, so if it did blow, the radiation wouldn't escape. Soviet ones didn't,
And cheap.
because they were cheaper to build.
They were Soviet.
Yeah.
Fucking communism.
That tunnel wasn't actually needed. They never needed that heat exchanger.
Right.
It didn't melt through. But sadly, 1 in 4 miners had their lifespan significantly shortened by... So out of the 400, 100 died young of cancer and various other radiation-associated diseases.
I mean, they're pretty much fucked anyway because they're miners.
Yeah, that's
And on
true.
top of that,
Oh.
Now remember, like, Legazov's got a choice with this though, and that's the thing. You got to put yourself in his shoes.
I just say there's a bit in the series, isn't there, where he says the miner asks the question. He says, "Will my men be looked after?" And he says, "I don't know."
Does he mean like afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will their families be looked after?
Will they get help?
If they can't work, what happens? Don't know.
We're kind of trying to save the world here. Can we get some, some health
Expendable,
care?
mate. Expendable, innit?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the sad truth of it.
This is what the Soviets are good at, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're good at throwing bodies at a problem.
Yeah.
That's how they won the Second World War. They just threw a shit ton of bodies at the problem.
And then change the photographs afterwards so nobody knows they're dead, like they did with the space program.
It's funny you should mention that, because that is pretty much what happens at the end. Now, Legazov knew there was a 50-50 chance of this happening. So if he doesn't do it and it happens, he's damned.
Yeah.
And if he does do it and it doesn't happen, he's sent 100 miners to their early graves, effectively. What do you do? You've got to go with the worst case scenario, haven't you?
Hi ho, it's off to the nuclear lava we go. With a shovel and stick and my exposed dick. Hi ho.
There's no way on earth I'd had my dick exposed, I know that much.
They were naked.
I'm going to keep my pants on. Sorry, I just hit the microphone with a piece of paper. What's left of the core is called the elephant's foot, because apparently that's what it looks like.
Okay. That's a brave photographer.
Yeah, you can only be in there for like 300 seconds. Up again a bit, please.
300 seconds?
Yeah.
Shit, maths, it's not many minutes, is it?
No, about 2.5 minutes, something like that. Once the nuclear fires were finally controlled, workers scrambled to contain the invisible dangers of the failed Chernobyl core. The concrete beneath the reactor was steaming hot and was breached by solidified lava, and spectacular unknown crystalline forms turned Chernobylites. With the help of a remote camera,
That's a great name for a band.
the Chernobylites.
Atomic Steve and the Chernobylites.
With the help of a remote camera, an intensely radioactive mass was found in the basement of Unit 4, more than 2 metres wide and weighing hundreds of tons, which they called the elephant's foot for its wrinkled appearance. This so-called elephant's foot is a solid mass made of melted nuclear fuel mixed with lots and lots of concrete, sand and core sealing material that the fuel had melted through. It's located in a basement area under the original location of the core, and in 1986 the radiation level on the elephant's foot was measured at 10,000 roentgens per hour, and anyone who approached would have received a fatal dose in under a minute. After just 30 seconds of exposure, dizziness and fatigue will find you a week later. 2 minutes of exposure and the body cells will soon begin to hemorrhage. 4 minutes, vomiting, diarrhea and fever, and at 300 seconds you have 2 days to live.
Don't go there.
That's probably the most dangerous thing in the world, isn't it?
I'd imagine so, yeah.
This is where we should
That
send...
was 10 years after the disaster, that photo.
How about this then? Pedos.
Put them in there.
Yeah, and the worst of the worst. I suppose it'd have to be mass murderers and pedos. Send them in there for 300 seconds and then just let them wander around while they fall apart from the inside and like their fucking guts fall out through their arsehole.
Interesting.
I think it would put them off, wouldn't it?
You're going to put that live?
So when that photo there that we're looking at was taken 10 years after the disaster, it was only emitting 1/10 of the radiation it once had, but still 500 seconds of exposure would prove fatal.
Wow. The elephant's foot.
Yeah. We'll just move on a little bit to, this is where they start the cleanup now, the liquidators. Now basically, the entire area, and at this point there was only a 30-kilometre exclusion zone, because they just decided there didn't need to be any more.
Okay.
And they move in over the course of the next few months. Over 600,000 people rotated through. Soldiers, civilians, army reservists, air force reservists.
Are they volunteers?
No, they were conscripted. Guys they just called back from Afghanistan. They had to basically cut down all the trees, burn them or bury them, and then turn over the top metre of soil
Yeah.
to bury the radiation.
Okay. No, I don't know. I was just going to say, wouldn't it still find a way? Would it move down or up or somewhere, or would it just stay?
Well, they're hoping it's just going to sit there.
Yeah.
They were called liquidators. Seems quite ominous. Apparently it's a bit of a different meaning in Russian. It doesn't sound as ominous.
Well, isn't it like the people that come in when your business has failed?
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah.
Take all the desks.
Yeah. So
But they took trees and soil.
They took trees and soil and they had the job of making sure that all the civilians were out, because there were still some stubborn fuckers that wouldn't leave. They had to kill all the livestock. And some roam the streets of Pripyat shooting pets.
Nice.
Dogs and cats, because they're irradiated.
Yeah.
If they get out of that exclusion zone, they're taking that radiation with them.
That's the worst bit of the show, that was, mate.
Yeah, actually, that's the one point in the show when I nearly turned the episode off, when they had to shoot the dogs.
Oh.
And it was like, wow. And especially the puppy scene, which fortunately they didn't go into too much detail with.
Oh, dear.
I think that's the worst job.
Yeah, and you bear in mind, during Pripyat, you got no radiation gear on.
Yeah.
In the show, they had lead cod pieces, effectively. They were taking the lead out of baskets and basically just wearing them like a jockstrap.
Fuck it.
No, well, we got nothing else, but at least our nuts are alright.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they had no radiation gear. Yes,
the face cancer, but me bollocks are alright.
What a job that is. Imagine the government coming and saying, right, we've got a job for you. What's that? You're going to go into a radiated zone and kill pets.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot me.
Hang on a minute.
And the worst of it was that the dogs...
Get the fuck out of here.
The dogs would approach you.
Yeah.
Because they're domesticated.
Yeah.
They want feeding. When the people left, like one suitcase, leave the pet, you'll be back in a bit. So you've got thousands of dogs. There's still dogs there. They didn't shoot them all.
Still people?
Well, allegedly.
I've seen documentaries and there's a few more women
like
that are still living
Yeah,
there.
I saw that. They're still there. I don't know how old the footage was, but I saw this years ago before we were researching this, and they've refused to leave. They fish the water and stuff like that, and
Die young, I'd imagine.
I don't know if they're.
I think they were like in their 80s and they were like, we're not moving, are we? You know,
I remember it was an old sort of picture the old country Russian woman with the thing tied round her head, and like she looked like your nan or something, but in Russia. Yeah, I'm not going.
Just got a bed and a bit of a kitchen stove.
Probably dead now.
And they've lived in that farm for their entire lives. Remember, this is 1986, so if they're in their 80s, they've seen the Civil War, which was 1917.
First World War.
Second World War. Rise of the Soviet government. Ukraine always tends to get it in the neck a little bit as well. Historically, it's been a bit persecuted over the year, which seems quite sad that Chernobyl happened here. So all the liquidators lived in that zone, and they were just rotated through. All livestock was destroyed as well. Can't have that getting out into the food stream, can you?
No.
We come to November of 1986. There are 3 levels of roof, because they've got to build. The idea is they've got to build this sarcophagus over the top, concrete sarcophagus over the top of reactor 4. Stops the radiation leaking out. Yeah. In theory, sounds like a great idea. Problem is, you've got to build it on site. We'll get to that in a little bit, but because before you can put that in place, you've got to clear the roof. There's 3 sections of roof, still covered in the radioactive graphite and other debris from the exposed core. And all you got to do is get that debris back down the hole. Sounds simple. The first 2 floors, so there's 2 stories, the top and the middle one, were done by ex-Soviet lunar landers that were never used.
Fucking hell.
They built moon buggies. They never got to the moon. But they could take the radiation.
Awesome.
Now remember, any robot you throw up there that hasn't been hardened to withstand that, the radiation will do exactly the same to the circuitry as it'll do to you.
What's it called? The thingy belt.
Van Allen belt.
Yeah, is it to do with that? It's got to get through that, any equipment.
I think space is more irradiated, isn't it? You haven't got an atmosphere to protect you from the sun.
Right. Now, just do a very quick one I've just found on what we were just talking about people living there.
Yeah.
I found an article from BBC News. Today it is still illegal to live inside the exclusion zone. Despite this, about 130 to 150 people do. Many are women, still farming their ancestral land in their 70s and 80s. And just outside the exclusion zone, there are a number of new arrivals.
Right.
Essentially, people are moving into the abandoned buildings on the edge of the exclusion zone and kind of sort of squatting. It says they have basic amenities, gas, electricity and mobile phone signal, which means they can access the internet, but they only have an outside toilet. Water is a problem. Their only source is a polluted well which connects the house via a single pipe. They need to boil all their water before it's used. A house in good condition in the village might cost $3,500, but such properties are rare. Most of the vacant homes, many made of wood, are being sold by their former occupants for less than a few $100s.
Wow.
Wow.
Why would you want to live there?
I live like a king
I
there
guess-
in the exclusion zone.
I guess it's people who can't
You're
afford...
gonna be king of the rad wastes. You're gonna roam around with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, delivering justice.
Well, it's people, it says it, they're using one family as an example. It says, the family's sole source of income is state benefits, $183 a month.
Well,
Growing their own food and keeping livestock for milk and meat is essential on their budget. Marina and her daughters fled from Toshkivka, a large industrial town in the Donbass region of eastern Ukraine, after 4 years of conflict in the east of the country. An estimated 10,000 people have been killed and 2 million displaced. So I guess they're low on options of where to go. There's all these abandoned buildings. It's the edge of the exclusion zone.
yeah.
Still not ideal, is it? And
No.
they might, I suppose, maybe be looking over the border of the exclusion zone at those 150 women who are still farming and thinking, well, they ain't dead yet.
The
That's
exclusion
a
zone.
sorry story,
Yeah.
isn't
Remember, the exclusion zone
Horrific,
now is a
isn't it?
lot bigger. It's 1,000
Right.
miles.
Okay. But still, displaced by war, that's not your fucking fault, and your options are to go and live in some abandoned 30-year-old buildings that have been abandoned for 30 years that are possibly, radiated.
Irradiated to fuck.
Fuck me, man.
Blink,
What a
innit?
wonderful world this could be. Shit.
Yeah. But even the Soviet lunar landers on the lowest floor couldn't take the radiation. So she asked for a bit of help.
Okay.
Not to America or to Britain, but the West Germans basically sent them a bomb disposal robot called Joker.
Hey.
The problem is, the Soviets don't really want to admit how bad the problem had been.
God.
So when they gave the numbers to the West Germans, they went, oh yeah, I'll take that. That's not an issue. Yeah, be fine. The second they dropped it onto the roof, it just fucking stopped working. The radiation just killed it.
I know hindsight is a fine thing, but I don't think I'm being that outrageous when I say a nuclear disaster is not the time to save face.
But this is a country
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
terrified
Think so,
of being
wouldn't you?
humiliated and has been completely humiliated. They don't want to admit how close they came, and they don't want to admit how bad it was. It's only... I mean, we still... I tried to find stuff on this, the details and stuff. It wasn't easy,
Yeah.
I mean, it really wasn't. There's a lot of articles just repeating each other.
Yeah. There's only so much out there, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think how bad it is, I don't know. Has it all been released on how bad it is? We'll never know how many people have got cancer because of this.
No.
We'll never know that. And the Soviet... Well, I'll say it at the end. I'm going to tell you now. You know last week when I said that the Soviet death toll they'd put at 31?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still 31. But the amount of people who've died young...
Of course. Thousands.
You could be talking 200,000-300,000.
Fuck you know.
Oh, and also I found something out. When I told you last week that a lot of civilians went onto that railway bridge, kilometre away from the freshly burning core, Yeah, they all died as well.
Yeah.
You know, it was just... So there's no way on earth it was 31 people.
No.
But that's the official death toll.
Bollocks, isn't it?
Fucking task.
So basically, they have to use bio-robots.
Ooh.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah.
It's people.
Cybernetically enhanced people?
Nope.
Just people.
Where does the robot bit come in then?
Doesn't.
They have to perform a robotic.
A chain.
Yeah.
A robotic system.
What?
Right.
So they're all doing it like when people do the robot dance?
Hope they weren't moving like Android Cop. You wouldn't get much done. No, this is the highest radiation there, yeah?
Mm.
You're literally still above the open core, you're on that roof above it.
Right.
Now, it's hard to say, it's a lethal dose, right? But they tell them, don't look over into it. The radiation is coming up. It's not going out to the sides, it's going up. Because the walls of it are still reasonably intact and they're designed to contain radiation. They've got no protective clothing though. They've got nothing.
Right.
All they've got is some rubber gloves and stuff to go over their boots, and they have to go and salvage lead from machinery anywhere they could, even taking it from machines at reactors 1, 2 and 3 that had been built to be shielded from radiation. Right? They then hammer this, because lead's quite malleable, you can hammer it into shape. They hammer it into crude aprons and head guards, and I've seen some of the footage of it. Wow. It shows you that these, and I guess reservists, they're like anywhere between sort of 30 to 45, I mean, called up to do this. And like, people have got like strips of lead tied across the back of their heads, held in place by string.
Fuck it.
You know, they've just
String.
got lead aprons, rubber gloves, masks,
A shovel.
and
you're sent out there, you got 90 seconds to shovel as much shit off there as you can.
Yeah.
And get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Because that 90 seconds is your lifetime dose.
Yeah, that's it. That is your life. So no more X-rays for you, buddy. Right? And remember I said last week that people who work in industry areas where they have radiation are allowed to be exposed to X amount per year. Radiographers in hospitals who do the X-rays, people who work at nuclear power plants, they're allowed to have so much of a dose per year over so many years, and that's their lifetime dose. If they have an X-ray or something, they have to declare it. They can't do as much time. You know, that's what you get. They've got 90 seconds on that roof, so they run out with their shovel. They scoop up a piece of graphite. They lob it over the side. They may get another one in if they're lucky. But as soon as that fucking pipe starts banging, they run back in.
Fucking hell.
How many men was it?
Over the summer of 1986, it was 3,828 were rotated through it in 90-second shifts.
It's normal.
Presumably only in daylight, I'd imagine. Otherwise, you want to see what you had shifted.
They weren't soldiers, were they?
No, some of them were. A lot of them were just reservists. Some were civilians. They've been doing something else. Remember, everyone works for the state.
Yeah.
In Soviet Russia, comrades. Everybody works for the state.
If the state's benevolent, then that's good. If the state isn't benevolent, then that's bad.
Yeah. Basically, you had 25 to 30 kilograms of lead strapped around you in various places, a shovel in 90 seconds, and you couldn't use any of that gear again.
Fuck it up.
It was so irradiated. And I presume you will be taken off and decontaminated as best they could. And you were rewarded with an official liquidator certificate,
Hey.
presumably for some kind of pension or benefit later on in life if you survive that long.
A nuclear teapot.
A nuclear teapot. No. 100 rubles. And maybe a medal. They did give out medals to liquidators, but not to everybody. Yeah.
A certificate. I wonder if they're able to sell it now that the Chernobyl, this series is one of the most popular series on television. Can they autograph it?
Most popular series on television.
Yeah, well, can they autograph it and put it on eBay
Probably.
if they're not dead?
One of the great things about the guy, I listened to the podcast about this,
Yeah.
follows a series and he tells you what he changed and what he didn't. And
Okay.
didn't change a lot in all fairness, mainly
Yeah.
just for timeline and
Yeah, and
events.
story reasons.
And he said, and when they were looking for all the Soviet gear, he's like, Soviet miners' helmets, they literally made like, this is helmet 1A. And that was kind of it. Every helmet you bought was exactly the fucking same. Everything was like, yeah, this is gas mask 1A. This is soldier helmet 1A. And you're like, oh, right, okay then. You just buy as many fucking as you can.
Fucking hell.
Well, it makes sense if it's the best.
Well, no, it wasn't the best.
Economically.
Well, it was the best for the money they.
Oh yeah, that's different. Yeah, but.
Oh, do you mean that? Sorry, I know what you're saying. So if it was the best in like radioactive protection, then that's fine. But Soviet mining helmet 1A is going to be a bit of steel and a lamp on the front, hammered into a shape vaguely the size of someone's head. Isn't it? Let's face it.
Basically,
stamped, pressed metal, stick a light on it, there you go, miner's helmet.
Well,
go dig the coal of freedom,
how fancy
comrades.
do you want your miner's helmets?
I want them to actually protect my head.
I'm sure it does that a bit.
You know, if a rock should fall on me, not a massive rock, but you know, a rock that a normal helmet might be able to take the hit off, then I don't want some just thin piece of pressed steel.
Well, no, you don't want that.
Covering my also equally thin skull with my brain jelly inside. I want something that's a bit more substantial. So the final stage now. Right, they've cleared the roofs. We're not in any danger of meltdown. The water table is safe as far as we're aware. Radiation leaking has been dropped down to about 35%.
Fucking hell.
Now, they started the concrete sarcophagus on the 20th of May 1986, 24 days after the leak, after the explosion. It was built on the site, and no one had ever built anything like this. You've got to individually make every single panel of concrete, design it to fit into place with the other panels. Yeah. It's got to be reinforced, it's got to have extra stuff put in it. It's 150 tons in weight and over 170 metres in height. And it covered, what was left, exposed, was 200 tons of radioactive corium, 30 tons of highly contaminated dust, and 16 tons of uranium and plutonium. Right. Do you know how long that sarcophagus lasted?
5 years?
10.
10.
Yeah.
10. Lasted in 1996.
They had to redo it, I guess.
Yeah, where it was deteriorated to the point where it's becoming impossible to repair.
Yeah.
So they've obviously been patching it up.
Yeah, they've
As
just
they've
put
gone
another
along.
one on, haven't they?
Yeah, and 10 years later, like, we're going to need something else in place pretty soon.
They've just put another one on, haven't they?
They have. I'm going to tell you about that in a second.
Okay, go on then.
Its radiation levels are estimated to be as high as 10,000 roentgens per hour. To put that in comparison, background radiation is around, normal background radiation in a city is about 20 to 50 an hour.
Jesus.
So, in 2010, construction started on the what's called the new safe containment. Finished in 2018, it is 108 metres. It's 31,000 tonnes. It cost 1.5 billion euros to build, and it's 250 metres long. And it is a vast dome that was built in two halves and basically just wheeled into position and sealed over.
Fuck yeah.
Do you want to know how long that's going to last?
How long?
Have a guess.
100 years.
Spot on.
Hey.
So in 100 years, they've got to build a 109 metre tall fucking dome to go over the top of that. If we're still here as a species.
It's like a horrible game of Russian dolls, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be like, so every 100 years they have to put an even bigger one on the top.
So
of it.
in like, think about a few thousand years into the future, you just have this big gigantic fucking...
the size of fucking Everest.
Yeah.
Will like the space station eventually have to like swing round it because it'll be sticking up into space.
As you want me so bad, just vent the radiation out.
Oh yeah, we can put a hole in the top then, couldn't we? Yeah. Maybe there's an idea.
Space elevator for radiation.
Space funnel.
Yeah.
Kind of make it just a big tube that you can just pop through the top of the dome and just send it all out to space. And in a couple of thousand years, some very cancer-ridden aliens from another dimension will turn up going, that's where it's fucking coming from. Oi, you shower of cunts.
And then they'll invade.
Yeah.
And that's why that bloke was sent back.
Oh, fuck.
It's all coming together.
It's all connected.
So, in the August of 1986, we had what was called the Vienna Conference. And so Valery Legazov presented the Chernobyl report at the meeting of International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, in Vienna. The conference was attended by more than 800 scientists and government officials who are experts in nuclear engineering, radiation safety, and health and safety, basically. The meeting was also attended by the government representatives from Belarus, the Soviet Union, and the Ukraine. The conference looked into the explosion at reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl power plant and also discussed the scientific, medical, environmental, and social consequences as a result of the explosion. So it's like, right, all the top atomic energy guys in the world turn up. You go, right, what went wrong and how do we stop that happening again? Because clearly it's been a bit of a fuck up.
You could say that. Slightly disastrous.
And if they'd turned up and said that on the day, things might have gone a bit differently.
And I love how this is known as like the world's worst nuclear disaster, despite the fact that we've purposely created these explosions on cities. What makes this worse? Is it because it wasn't on purpose?
Because it was probably more devastating than the 2 atomic bombs that were dropped. More radiation was... And this had... You drop an atomic bomb, the radiation is short-lived, isn't it? It's a few weeks, couple of months, stops.
Okay.
Depending on what you drop, whether it's airburst or ground burst. Ground burst is a few days, I think, and airburst is a bit longer. There's ground burst is a few days and then it gets worse because all the stuff that was sucked up comes back down again.
Oh, fuck.
Either way, it's not lasting long because you want to send people in to take what's left of that, so you want that radiation to die off quite quickly. With this, if it was left unchecked, like originally the denial at the start, where Dyatlov in particular is... Hey, what do you mean the core exploded? Change my mind! Like the popular meme. No core exploded, change my mind!
Look.
To the point where his own guys are going out there and saying there's graphite on the floor, and he's like, no there isn't. No there isn't. Can't be. No there isn't. Doesn't happen.
And they're puking their guts up.
And then they start puking their guts up, and he actually sends 2 of his own men down to fucking look at the hole where the core was, who then immediately start vomiting and dying.
What a guy.
Yeah, what an absolute... But yeah, so... There you go. This didn't happen, and they want to know how they can... If it does happen again, how do we stop it with less fuss than this time? But the thing is, when you leave the Soviet Union as a Soviet citizen, to stop you defecting, because you might do that, and Legazov, very clever man, I'd imagine there would have been some overtures made to him by Western intelligence services. Tell us about them Soviet nuclear reactors, please. They're very heavily shadowed by the KGB, as you might expect. So, scroll down for me, please, Mike. Legazov's final report looks into the cause of the disaster and the aftermath of the explosion. In his 5-hour-long hearing, Legazov argued the disaster was caused by multiple factors, including human error, combined with poorly designed reactors. Overall, he stressed that human error was the overriding cause. So he's lying.
Right.
Because it's... Yes, human error had a part in this, and a big part, but if that reactor flaw was known to the engineers, including Dyatlov, who, in his defence, did not know about the reactor flaw, it was a state secret.
So did somebody know about it then?
People knew about it, the very echelons of top. Legazov had heard about it, but not officially. You know, it was, and to the point where some of the stuff in the official documents on this reactor flaw was redacted. But the human error comes in because they nearly stalled the reactor, and Dyatlov was like, yeah, bang it back up, raise the power. And that's why they took it down too low in the test, because of none of them have done it before. That was human error, not helped by your prick of a boss calling you an incompetent every 5 minutes.
Yeah. I am the daddy of the nuclear reactors.
Legazov reported the Chernobyl plant was operated by untrained workers who carried out an unauthorized experimental safety test supervised by Deputy Chief Engineer Anatoly Dyatlov. He noted that the RMBK reactors used at Chernobyl were faulty and dangerous and actually banned outside the Soviet Union. Across the Soviet Union, 16 of these RMBK reactors were still in operation. In his report, Legazov wrote, neglect by the Soviet scientific management and the designers was everywhere, with no attention being paid to the conditions of instruments or equipment. It contrasted greatly with the narrative of the Soviet government, who had tried to downplay the scale of the disaster to the rest of the world. As a result of Legazov's determination to tell the truth, sort of the truth, it's a half-truth.
This Daltov is a bit like the knight in the Monty Python, isn't it? Like, all his arms and legs are gone, and he's just like, it's just a scratch!
Yeah.
It's fine. Nothing to see here.
Very true.
Fucking
So that was the Vienna conference, where everyone kind of trusted Legazov after this in the West. They're like, oh my god, a Soviet scientist we can actually trust. Because he did admit there was a bit of blame, but the reactors... Oh yeah, it was mainly mismanagement. Yeah, there is a bit of a flaw when they go that low. But it's nothing to worry about. It was bad man management and poorly trained staff.
Yeah.
The staff there were no better trained than anyone else in the Soviet Union. Worse trained than anyone else in the Soviet Union. Sadly, one of the guys who died in after going down to try and open the pumps, initially after the explosion, was 25. He'd worked there for 4 months.
Fuck.
Apparently, when they was interviewed, tried to interview him, his face was missing. From the radiation poisoning, the radiation, yeah.
Wow. Don't work at nuclear power plants, kids. We must have them in the UK then.
Yeah, I think we've got 5 or 6 actually.
I wonder where the nearest one is. I'll do some live research.
Welsh coast, I'd imagine, Cornish coast, somewhere.
Oh yeah,
like
it's
that.
got to be near the sea, hasn't it?
Yeah. I seem to recall hearing that, let's say that there was some kind of, I don't know, zombie apocalypse, something where the organised system of things breaks down and these places are evacuated but left running. It's something like 7 days to 3 weeks before they go critical and we'd end up with a worse Chernobyl.
Do you know the way they sold it in the 60s? They said it
Clean
was
and
going to be
safe.
clean, safe and peaceful.
Energy for the future.
Well, it is unless it fucks up, isn't it?
Because Tony Benn, the MP, Labour MP, he was head of the Department of Energy. And he brought them in on that pretense, and he's like, I thought it was a good idea. We're turning something horrible like the bomb, and using it for good to power people's homes. Over the years, he found out to realise that it was neither safe, clean, or peaceful.
Well, yes, you're correct, Ben. There are 2 in North Wales, which for the listener is pretty close to us. They are all mostly on the coast. There's about 12 of them, I think. Oh no! Oh shit! Sorry. Oh, the 2 in North Wales are closed.
Oh.
So active, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 active
Oh, it's
stations.
virtually spot on, 6 or 7.
So what's the closed ones then? Is there anything nuclear there?
Yeah, they've probably just been sealed up, to be fair.
Oh, I'd love to try and go and find one.
I want to go to Chernobyl.
Oh, fuck, I don't want to go there.
They probably sold off the uranium to the US.
That's a valid point. The
Using
uranium
weapons.
might have been sold off because depleted uranium
Wouldn't
using
we
tank shells as well.
possibly
Yeah.
also need it for can you not take that and use it in the submarines to power them, or am I being thick?
You could use it for the
Yeah,
weapons on
whatever,
submarines.
Because we've got a shitload of nuclear subs as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
Do you know how many I heard a mad fact. We've got more decommissioned nuclear submarines just sitting there waiting to be
Taken apart.
basically. We've got more of them than we have active ones. So there's all these sort of potential mini nuclear disasters just sitting somewhere in dock. So I hope nobody blows that up.
I suspect that if we knew how many sort of redundant nuclear reactors there were on submarines, on land, let's not forget that the US Navy aircraft carriers are nuclear powered as well, along with I think our 2 new ones are too, are nuclear powered. How many have they got in dry dock of them? How many are sat there right? And they're all waiting to have their reactors taken out because that's the most expensive bit of... It's simple enough to break a ship down.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen the footage of the guys in India who do it?
No.
They literally they'll get these old ships, and they'll have some guy steering it, and they just ram it onto the beach.
Fuck.
And then the swarms of people just descend on it, start stripping it apart, bolt by bolt.
You should see these boats make hundreds of miles along the coast.
Yeah.
Like a ghost shipyard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Waiting to be dismantled.
Here's a thought then. If something goes wrong with a nuclear reactor on a sub while it's underneath the ocean, and something like this happens, it explodes, and there's a 1,000-year nuclear fire at the bottom of the ocean.
That's not good.
that could potentially poison the entire globe, couldn't it?
Well,
yeah.
Would it sit there burning at the bottom on the seabed?
It wouldn't be burning, but what you would end up with it flash boiling millions of tons of seawater, which would then... I wouldn't even like to say what would happen.
So, taking out nuclear subs with missiles might not be very clever.
I mean, look at the curse.
But we do it, don't we? Don't we?
Yeah.
We take out
I don't know
subs,
if...
Well...
A nuclear sub has ever been shot down.
No nuclear sub has ever been lost to another nuclear sub, unless the Kursk was sunk by an American submarine. That's a possibility. That'll be an episode one day. Actually, the Kursk thing.
Is that the one where the Americans?
We haven't said Yanks in ages.
They salvaged it from the bottom of the sea. Howard Hughes helped them.
No, that was a different one.
Right.
That was an elaborate. Can I go into that a little
We'll
bit?
do that one day as well. But yeah, just mention it for the
Basically,
listener.
the Americans had heard about this Russian submarine that had gone down with all hands, and
Not
were like,
far from the States.
not too far, but it was in the Pacific, and they were like, "Ooh, it's gone down intact. We could have that. We could learn what they've got."
Yeah.
So they got Howard Hughes on board and said, "Right, we want you to. We'll reimburse you. What we want you to do is say that you're going to start searching for minerals on the ocean floor, and you've built this ship to like go along with a big net and scrape shit up off the ocean floor and bring it back up." And then because they knew where this submarine had gone, they kind of got that ship and hovered it over the top, floated it over the top, picked up the submarine and fucked it back off. But there'll be an episode on that.
I think it was really complicated.
It was very complicated.
They got it halfway up and it broke in half maybe or something. But they got it. They nicked it off the seabed. Bless them.
That's some ingenuity though, isn't it? You've got to give them that. So Legazov goes to the Vienna conference and he kind of tells the truth, but kind of doesn't.
Okay. Well, he is still a comrade, isn't he?
The reason he was chosen to be the head guy on this because he was quite the fanatical party member.
Yeah.
He was very much a member of the party, very much a Soviet.
This incident changed his mind, didn't it?
Of course it did. So the trial of the perpetrators of the Chernobyl disaster took place in July to August 1987 in Chernobyl. Believe it or not, in Soviet law, the trial had to be carried out somewhere near where the crime had been committed.
Joking.
I am not joking. They even had them washing their shoes on the way in.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Huh? It was held in the
How
closed zone.
insane is that?
Yeah. I know. It's ridiculous, but that was the law.
Fuck's sake. So that everyone involved will be dead shortly afterwards.
Well, actually, the sarcophagus would have been in place by now.
Oh,
But even so, the
still.
entire area would have been pretty radioactive. They basically went, station personnel did not have complete knowledge of the physical processes that took place in the reactor of this type, but these processes have not been studied to the end by the creators themselves. Approximately 90% of the blame for what happened lies with scientists and designers of the nuclear industry. But Dyatlov is also being heavily blamed in this because, well, this is what happened. We've got the testimony of the people that were there with you in the control room, some of whom are dead now, and they're saying that you, after the power had gone down so low, just ordered to be raised to 700. That would take about 16 hours usually to gradually build up. You've got to bleed the reactor of the xenon gas.
Yeah.
You've got to make sure the water's pumping. You lower the control rods down in a steady, organised fashion, not just hitting the fucking emergency stop button.
Press all the fucking buttons!
About 16 hours. Dyatlov has a great line in the show where he's like, he just goes, "No, I was in the toilet." When that happened, I was in the toilet, and then the guy's like, "Hey, everyone in the room says you were in the room, mate."
Yeah.
And he's like, and he goes, "Oh." It's just, it was a Soviet show trial, effectively. They knew these guys were going down. They knew it.
Yeah.
You know, they all had 10 years in a labour camp. Foreman, though, who was one of the chief engineers, he went back to work after he'd done his time at another nuclear reactor.
I know. How mad is that?
Yeah.
What the
Well,
fuck?
You know what you know. Go put food on the table.
Dyatlov did his 10 years hard labour. He died in 1995 from radiation-related illnesses. That's another correction on my part. I thought he'd had a heart attack, which he may well have done. It does affect the respiratory, the heart and lungs. Yeah. He died of radiation-related illnesses. Boris Sabina, we mentioned last week, not this week so far. He was the government official with Legazov. Remember that basically Legazov had told them both, hey, we're an open reactor, we've got 5 years. Died 4 years and 4 months after the disaster on August 22nd, 1990. One of the real tragedies of this is Legazov himself. He kept his job, but because he kind of half lied, half told the truth, he was kind of passed over for promotions, he was discredited, he was shunned by his fellow scientists. He kind of just got put in an office and left to rot, effectively. Other people took the credit a little bit for what he'd achieved. There was a team of 15 scientists with him at Chernobyl, so a lot of them were credited, although a lot of them did stand up for him and were themselves sort of discredited. Some didn't, they got the credit. And 2 years to the day, he hung himself. After recording on tape his memoirs, which made it impossible for the Soviet scientific community to believe what the state was telling them in a way.
Right.
This is this guy, they know what he did, the community, but they also know that they can't acknowledge him. It's one of them weird 50-50 situations. He's like that guy at work who's a bit weird that no one speaks to. You can't be seen speaking to him because he's a bit of a weirdo. This is how Legazov ended up. He ended up being that guy in the office that, they take work stuff into, but that'd be it.
Well, he's a traitor.
He's kind of betrayed state secrets in a way.
And then it all came crumbling down.
Yeah, and the tapes that he made kind of revived his reputation.
Yeah.
And everyone saw, actually, you know what? He fucking stopped that.
Yeah.
And that could have been a biggie.
Who released the tapes?
They were just kind of, after his death, he must have passed them on to another scientist. And they got it that way. No one really seems to know. But he must have passed them on to a... Remember, he did have a family. He had a wife and 2 daughters. But he also had cancer.
Yeah.
He knew he only had
Fucking hell.
that time.
So miserable, isn't it? It's so fucking... No offence, listeners, but it's so Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
This whole disaster.
It's Soviet Russia, definitely. It's like...
Fucking hell.
Grim. Just grim all the way through.
Yeah, it's horrible. For my own personal benefit, I'd like one day in the future to do an episode on the USSR, because of my horrific knowledge of history. I've got no idea how it's formed. Or
I can tell you some stuff about it, actually. Like, everything was supplied by the state. People would be queuing, but there were shortages. Most of Russia's money went on its military and its nuclear weapons.
How did they convince all these other countries though? They didn't go around invading everywhere, did they?
Pretty much, they are, put in quotation marks, liberated.
Yeah.
Like Poland, Czechoslovakia.
From the Nazis.
Yeah, from the Nazis.
Well,
and then just said, oh, by the way, we're staying here now.
Because the way it affected me personally was I had a girlfriend from the Czech Republic, and I'm so stupid and uneducated that I was talking to her about the Czech Republic one day, and then she was like, she mentioned before the USSR or something, and then Czechoslovakia came up, and I was like, Czechoslovakia, and I remembered Euro 96. Yeah, and like
Karl Poborski,
the long-haired guy.
Wasn't that Croatia?
No, it was Czechoslovakia, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, what happened to them then? And then she explained a bit, and I was like, fucking hell, so you all had to live under... That's weird, isn't it? Sucks for you, that. So now you're something else entirely, and their country had to split in two with the Czech Republic and Slovakia. But it all used to be Czechoslovakia. Yeah. See, I knew none of this at all. That's why you're such a miserable cow.
But they would go and queue up at 4 a.m. to be first in the line for their ration that day.
Oh, God.
There was a 10-year waiting list to get a car. Toilet paper was in short supply. You couldn't get fresh butter.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. 10 o'clock curfew. Your phones are probably being listened to. You say anything it's a party. Yeah, you say anything it's a party, chances are your own kids will grass you up. Because they're being indoctrinated with it in school.
So the way it's described as communism, how is that communism?
Well, it isn't, is it?
Communism?
I mean, they made the pretense that it was under Leninist ideals.
It suited both parties to call it that.
Of course.
Of course. Because the Americans could say, look at communism, it's bad.
Yeah.
You know, and the Soviets could say, look, this is communism, it's great.
Well, when you've got that amount of people all living under that control, they're going to think it's great, because it's the only way they know. And it's all they've been brought up with since they were children.
Well, yeah, otherwise you'd
Why do you think
labour
there's-
camp in the Siberia.
Yeah. Why do you think there's so much resistance to capitalism? Why do you think there isn't so much resistance to capitalism in the West? Because it's all we know. We can't imagine another system. It's exactly the same. They're both two sides of the same coin. It's one way to oppress us and keep us under their thumb while they make money.
Yeah, but it wasn't communism, that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, no, it wasn't communism. You're absolutely right. It wasn't Marxism, which you would you? I don't know, Mike. Would you argue that Marxism is the true communism?
David Icke said that Marxism is what's happening today.
Cultural Marxism.
I don't even think he was on about culture. Oh, he might have been meant cultural Marxism. He was relating
I've
it
heard
to
him
all
talk
the,
about it
the
before.
woke people.
Yeah, it's just a bullshit term that somebody's lumped together, lumped all the stuff on the left and said that's cultural Marxism. Doesn't mean anything.
It does.
Well, it does, but it's just something that they've made up.
Are you
To attack the
questioning
left.
Saint Icke?
Afraid I am, yeah.
But he was talking about, I think, to try and it's kind of related to this. He was on about the permanent government, which is the one you know, the deep state, the permanent government.
Right.
It doesn't matter who's in power; they'd answer to somebody else. Don't
Yeah,
they?
but in Marxism, in communism, it's meant to be the people. Nobody's in power but the people. The government is the
it's
people.
never going to work, is it?
Yeah, but there's always
Ever.
that one dude sat at the top, isn't there? There has to be.
Well, you could do what the ancient Greeks did when they first invented it.
That's true.
You used to
They-
just pick people a lottery. Say, like, look, when you're going to spend a year, you're going to run the government.
Yeah, but you can't just have some.
Fuck.
Well,
Why not?
It wasn't
Look
some
at the cunts-
fisherman, but it
look
was.
what the cunts have done to us.
But I mean, it was
They
usually
destroyed
someone.
the planet.
Yeah, but at least they could spell and stuff. Do you know
At
what I
least
mean?
it was someone with a bit of
Can't be
education.
anyone
Usually it was
fucking worse.
yeah, but usually it was a nobleman.
Yeah,
I
it was a
remember,
nobleman.
I remember only 1 in 10 people in ancient Greece could vote anyway.
Yeah.
'Cause I'll be honest, if
I'm
we
just saying something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm
I
not
see
saying
what you're
that.
saying.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
saying fucking, you know.
Get Joe Blogs off the street.
If we lived under communism, I'd be such a sly bastard. I'd be telling you two that I'm all, yeah, I've got the same as you two. All the rations and all, yeah, communism, we're all the same.
He got a six pack of toilet paper the other day.
I would be secretly robbing and stealing and hoarding and just being an absolute filthy human.
We wouldn't need to.
A lot of people did. The
Fucking
black market
would.
was
I'm
rife
not the
with
same
communism.
as everybody
Yeah,
else.
I'm trying to say it's not under the communism it should have been.
Fuck 'em. We've had this discussion before, Mike, but I like lording it over people around me because it's vital to my feelings of psychological well-being. If we've all got the fucking same, how can I fucking go? Because you look up at people
You
above
should
you and you
always
go,
punch
I'm not
up.
doing very well. But then you look down at the fucking guy drinking special brew on the bench at 9:30 in the morning and you think, well, at least I'm not him. I'm doing
You should always
alright.
punch up, never punch down.
That's something that woke people say about comedy. Fuck 'em. It is so much fun to pick on all. Punching up is all well and good, but punching down can definitely be funny.
Can I punch both ways?
Here's an example. Yes, of course you can. I believe so. A child falls off a bike. Is it funny?
Yes.
Is it even... Okay, you're supposed to say no, but is it funny?
Depends how they fall off it.
Is it funny?
There's a lot of variables in that. Can we change the example?
Is it funny if he's an incredibly overweight ginger child?
Yeah, kind of.
And it's a girl's bike.
Yeah, he's on a pink bike too. Yeah,
That's if I drive past
with
and see that,
stabilisers.
that's funny.
Can we add in some
but
tassels on the
isn't
handlebars
it
too?
funnier to see Boris Johnson fall off his bike?
Fall off
Not
the same
really.
bike, yes.
Yeah, well,
I think the bike has a lot to play in this.
I don't know.
There's a pink girl's bike with stabilisers and tassels hanging off, one of them shitty little ding ding bells. Then anyone falling off that's going to be funny. Especially Boris though. Boris would be funnier than a child.
It would, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sick. But one of my favourite
Yes, you
things.
are.
One of my favourite things about when a child falls over is the look on their face. It's hilarious because they have this look of incredulousness,
Yeah.
like because their ego will not accept that it was their own clumsiness that made them fall over, and they look angry at the world or the floor or like. Who did that? It's like, you! Because you can't run yet! Sorry. But yeah, I think it's vitally important as a society to be able to look down at some people. So you know where you are. It gives you, it needs something to aspire to. If we've all got the same,
Yeah.
and he didn't work for it, especially if it's ushered in now, if they bring in communism next year, and I'm like, he's done fucking smack for 30 years, and now he's got the same size house and all the same things I've got, and I work me bollocks off. Who's the dickhead?
He would
Me?
also be working though in that scenario, whether he's on 30 years of smack or not. He'd have to earn that house. What you get given,
Right.
don't quote me on this, but I think what you get given in terms of housing, income, food rations, etc., kind of depends on your status.
So we don't all
So
just
it's
get
Like
the
it did in
same.
Soviet Russia.
In Soviet Russia, it did. Not in
the luxury communist future that we
not
need.
in the luxury communist future Mike is fantasising about.
Sign me up for the Russian model.
But like, so that's like Dyatlov was so
Yeah, but then you're
desperate.
eating sawdust in bread.
I go to work,
Doesn't matter.
so I'll get better than the fucking
You're
crackhead.
still a
won't I?
worker. You still get
You
sawdust
just
in-
said
Your
that-
comrade worker.
Yeah, the crackhead's getting nothing. You're getting
Exactly.
sawdust in your bread.
Exactly, I'll have something. It's better. What's he got? He's looking at my
you've got
sawdust,
it better.
Mike, thinking, oh, God.
You've got it better now, you idiot. Why do you want to go for
But my
that?
point is,
He's got more sawdust in his bread than me.
you're missing my point. My
No
point
sawdust
is,
in your bread now.
oh, you're missing my point. Whatever system we live under, it is vitally important that there are people fucking below me. Even if all I've got is sawdust, there needs to be a cunt who hasn't got sawdust. Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
Well,
I
I-
might as well be a crackhead.
I, for one, am
Well,
Texas.
be a crackhead. In the new
Okay.
communist future, you can.
In your fucking vision of the future, I probably will be fucking sucking fucking cock for crack, then selling the fucking crack so I can feed
No,
some
but-
fucking dead cat to my fucking
The crack
kids.
will be free.
Oh,
You can't give away free crack. The entire population will be on crack.
Free
you're gonna
crack.
break the world,
Nothing will
Mike.
get done.
I'll bake the crack in the bread.
But nothing will get done. Who's gonna bake the bread when they're all?
You'll be surprised how motivated crackheads can be when there's the promise of crack bread.
We'll rebuild Britain.
But the crackheads aren't gonna want to. They're gonna eat more bread than they make.
They don't eat much, they crackheads.
Not really, no. They haven't got
There you
many
go.
teeth.
But they're gonna take
Even
more
if they
crack than
want
they put in
you
the
to.
bread.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but they won't want that much. You know.
They will. They're addicts. They need more. You
Yeah,
put
but
a
they're not going to be
tolerance
eating
to
20
it.
loaves a day, are they?
They might do.
Depends how much crack's in the bread.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll make it 50-50.
I think
50-50.
I think the conclusion we've come to is we should probably leave things as they are.
So I can't
I'm
put
gonna-
crack in the bread.
Capitalism's good.
Well, what I'm going to do is Texas tornado my punches up and down, spinning round.
Yeah.
You know his finishing move, the old Texas tornado
Yeah,
punch?
of course I do.
I'm going to lie on my side and do that and spin round.
Punch up and down.
Yeah.
Obviously there are exceptions. You know,
Uber rich, don't like them.
take the piss, but I think, you know, punching up and down, it's all fair game. Don't be woke. Don't be woke.
You can be woke if you want to.
Don't be woke.
Just don't enforce it on the fucking rest
Don't
of
be
us.
woke. Anyone who describes themselves as woke is so woefully unwoke. They're so painfully unaware
That
of their
does-
own.
I said be woke, I didn't say declare your wokeness. There's a
That,
difference.
the people who do declare their wokeness do tend to be a bit dumb.
Oh God, they're so short-sighted and incapable of like I know my flaw. I'm an arrogant person at times, but I'm also hyper self-critical. I'm painfully aware of my flaws, the holes in my knowledge, but these woke people are so buoyed by their own hey, I'm woke, man. That means I'm woke, that they cannot accurately see how short-sighted they are and their place in the world.
I think as soon as you think you're woke, you're not.
Of course.
Yeah, I'd agree with
I
that.
ain't woke, I'm asleep. I'm gonna start my new hashtag asleep.
Hashtag sleep.
Hashtag asleep, motherfucker. Fuck 'em, I ain't woke. No, that man is not a woman. Hashtag asleep. Yeah.
You know what?
Doesn't mean you're racist. Because before all this woke came along, it's like, did you know racism's really bad? Yeah, we know, because we're not cunts. We've known racism is bad for a long time. And remember, I heard an interesting thing. Remember Little Britain, the TV show, for
Yeah.
the international listener? About 15 years ago, they were on primetime television doing sort of blackface and
They were, yeah.
like trans characters and bad transvestites and all that. And I heard an interview with Matt Lucas. Now it's like, you can't fucking touch Little Britain. And he was saying that not a day goes by that somebody doesn't question him on Twitter, like, what the fuck's all this about, some younger person? And they were talking about, like, what was 15 years ago. We'd moved on from, like, the racism of the 70s and stuff, hadn't we? And do you think people had maybe just relaxed when they shouldn't have? They thought, oh, we've dealt with the racism problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't do that anymore, so it's okay to have blackface
Everything
and stuff, but it's
in our society is racist, even the language.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the dictionary and look at the definitions for white, pure, unadulterated.
Wow.
You look at the definition of black, tainted, evil, bad.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Even in our language.
I don't see what you mean. I know what you're saying, yeah.
Don't fight it, Ben.
I'm not joining your racist tribe yet.
I'm not racist.
I'm not joining you and your far right buddies
I'm not
yet.
the far right. I'm just anti-far left. I don't know what the fuck that makes me.
Just because, like you, I'm a
do you know what it makes me?
just
A
because-
normal 36-year-old man.
Just because I'm like you and on the side of pure Aryan bloodlines.
Well, you know.
You know.
When you're white, you're white.
We are joking, no.
There's nothing I can fucking do about it.
No, that's it, there is a...
Yeah. Well, that's it. We're unaware of how biased we are. Even people like us, who we don't think we're racist. But
Oh, I'm a little bit. Without meaning to be, but...
that's what I'm trying to say. Is
Well,
that
that's because you're a white van
because of
man.
the culture we're
part
brought
of
up
the
in,
job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know,
Did you have to have a racism test when you got the job?
it wasn't long ago we were selling black people as commodities.
I just
200
want to state for the
years?
record, none of us in this
No.
room have actually sold a
None
human
of us are
being.
200 years old.
Well, somebody to tell you, boys.
And I heard a good argument against the whole, like, it's different if a black person talks to you about white privilege. You should probably listen and maybe see their point of view.
Yeah,
but
but
when
I,
other
I
white
would,
people,
I would listen, but at the same time I'm like, mate, I do a shit job for fucking less
Yeah,
than
that's the
fucking
other thing.
average wage in this
That's the
country,
thing.
so I don't know what you're meant to be about
the
it.
counter argument kind of is sort of like, well, that's a daft road to go down, white privilege. You're privileged to be wearing shoes. There are millions of people in this world who
Yeah.
don't have that privilege. Check your shoe privilege. You're privileged to be fully clothed. There are millions of people in the world who don't have that privilege.
Yeah.
Check your clothes privilege. Do you know what I mean?
You have
Like,
3 meals a day.
yeah, you eat 3 square meals, you've got a job, you're employed, you've got a house on. Yes, I know it sucks that you've been a victim of racism, but if you're going to start throwing that around and go, well, you've got white privilege, well, we're all a bit privileged. There's nothing... I
You
suppose-
don't-
No, he's more. The black man in Britain is more privileged than the black man in Africa.
In Sierra
course it is.
Leone.
Yeah.
That's it. That guy in Sierra
Yeah,
Leone, he can
man.
talk to me about my white privilege, but I'm afraid if you've got a house and a car and like an income, like...
But you still have to understand that you've had more advantages than he has.
How?
Well,
I'm awesome.
every time you go for a job, you
I,
know,
I work in a warehouse.
It doesn't
We
matter.
employ people of all colours.
well, I know, but I'm just
So everyone
saying,
can do the job.
there's
But
racism
people
in the
are
society. There are racists in the society. He's probably been beaten up, perhaps for being.
He may have done,
black
yeah,
man.
yeah, I'll give him that, yeah.
You know, you have to understand.
But
just
you
be
or I
aware.
could walk down the wrong street in Wolverhampton and get beaten up for being white.
Yeah, could do.
Just mind your own
That's
business.
racism as well.
Gone to King Kebab. Well, back in the day, gone to King Kebab down
Well-
Broad Street, where a lot of shootings and muggings happen.
Yes. Well, I think it's safe to say we're not racist, even though I'm constantly slagging off the extreme left and the woke people. You don't have to be woke to not be a racist. That's my point, I guess. Don't be woke. Sleep. Hashtag sleep.
Hashtag asleep.
Yeah.
Try and start it.
I'll get called a homophobic racist and they'll dox me and I'll lose my job. That's what'll happen.
Maybe. We'll finish on the effects of this. Like I said earlier, official Soviet death toll, 31. Boom. There you go. 31. That's it. Like I say, hundreds of thousands of those liquidators died young. 1 in 4 of those miners died young. The radiation cloud itself, people on that bridge who were there watching the pretty lights going around that fire,
Yeah.
they're all dead. But it's the after effects, and sadly, the radiation does affect children more than fully grown adults.
Pussies. Sorry.
It's estimated there have been at least, and every figure I'm going to say is at least 600,000 children. Thyroid cancer. A lot of children, a lot of adults as well, walking around with their thyroids in their neck. Sometimes taken out as a precautionary measure, sometimes taken out because they had cancer. Tuberculosis, various blood diseases, cataracts, children getting cataracts. That's something that happens in old age. Digestive diseases, Crohn's disease, things like that. That ain't a pleasant disease to have, I tell you. And mutations, children being born with deformed arms, deformed legs, no limbs at all. Enlarged craniums, no eyes.
Alien.
Well, potentially, but I think we could probably be safe and put that down to the massive effects of radiation released.
Does this explain all your alien sightings? They were Chernobyl victims.
No.
With enlarged heads.
No, because I don't think
they glowed.
Don't they live that long?
Isn't that a Simpsons thing, Mr. Burns?
Yes, years of working in a nuclear power plant have given me a healthy green glow. I believe he says. I can quote The Simpsons verbatim in all fairness.
Good on you.
I love that episode. It's an alien. It's bringing peace and love. Don't take it away. Break its legs. Oh, I love it. And that's when Mulder and Scully guest on that one. Duchovny and Gillian Anderson guest in that one. And Mo, for some reason, has got a killer whale in the back of his bar. Don't know why, just has. This had an effect, and you know, the guy who plays Sabina, oh, God, his name off the top of my head now. He was in the Avengers as the Norwegian scientist.
Yeah.
He said that he lived in Sweden, grew up in Sweden. They couldn't eat wild reindeer meat. They couldn't eat mushrooms that grew in the forest because it was all irradiated.
Couldn't drink reindeer piss.
Couldn't drink reindeer piss, which we all know is a vital part of the Swedish diet.
It is if you want to get high.
Especially with eating them mushrooms.
Yeah.
It affected Europe, Poland, Germany, Russia, Finland, even in Wales there was birth defects.
That's just the Welsh, but...
Hey, I'm half deformed then.
Does explain a lot.
Especially the giant glowing penis. I'm able to recreate Star Wars at night under the duvet.
In all fairness,
to my own.
On your own?
Yes. Well, Leona doesn't have a glowing penis. You'll be pleased to know.
Depends how much radiation you saw from Chernobyl.
Well, her womb does good. You can. She's quite small, so you can pick her up and use her as a lantern whilst camping.
Dennis, we were born. You were 82, Mike. You were born
81.
81. Sorry, me and Gaz are 83. We've got this in us. We've breathed this in. It's maybe not a massive dose, but we've breathed it in. Is it enough to affect us in later life? We won't know until we get there. Cancer rates have spiked across Eastern Europe and Russia. Yeah, not spiked, but certainly a higher percentage of people are getting it and getting it younger. You know, is that related to this? Probably.
Yeah.
Don't ever admit it is,
Or it could
but
be
probably.
the spread of McDonald's.
Now, I had to explain to my 21-year-old stepsister who I watched this show with, she'd never heard of Chernobyl.
Fucking hell.
Never heard of it. They wasn't taught about it.
Yeah.
So when she watched this, she, like me, went down the rabbit hole. More down the rabbit hole than I did. Because I knew a bit about this. I'd seen stuff on it in previous years. And then I said, well, what about Fukushima? Now, bear in mind, she was born in 1998.
Yeah.
She hadn't heard of that either.
Fucking hell.
I said, well, there's some people who think that's poisoning the Pacific Ocean's fish.
Well,
you know,
mental, innit?
Before we
don't need them now.
I just want to
Renewable
say,
energies.
One more thing.
Decommission them all.
Well, yeah,
move on.
It can be done. It's just unfortunate the people who own these plants are the people who are paying people in Parliament to...
What's the alternative though? We start burning...
Well, you got solar, wind,
yeah.
Water. I mean, we're in Ireland. We should be able to knock up a few hydroelectric plants pretty fucking easy, shouldn't we?
Yeah, everywhere, man. I see them out to sea, in the ocean.
Oh, they're saying
They've got a bank of them.
The UK has gone another 2 or 3 weeks. They're using coal now.
Fair play.
So it's getting there. The will isn't there though. I think this is more that they don't need the coal power stations firing up as much. More people have got solar panels.
I mean, we need to stop it now. It's not about reducing it by 2050. There'll be nothing left.
I'll get this one, mate.
Right, so the main factor of this really is that Gorbachev certainly thought that it brought down the USSR. They spent $2 billion, which they didn't really have. In the 80s, the Soviets were kind of teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. System wasn't working. While there were so many shortages of everyday goods, and they were spending all their money on tanks and missiles.
Yeah.
Trying to win that arms race with the Americans, to the point where Gorbachev, even when he did meet Reagan, and Reagan didn't sign the nuclear arms reduction treaty, because he basically turned around and said, "Sorry, I can't." The Russians were practically begging him to, so they could start reducing their nuclear arms to save the money. But Reagan knew that keeping their arms race going, which the Americans could afford and the Soviets couldn't, would usher them towards bankruptcy and possibly regime change.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Probably why he also played the Star Wars card in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Because 400 million, I think that was, something like that. They invested in that. The Russians couldn't keep up with that.
No.
They spent $2 billion on the Chernobyl clear-up. Not, and also a lot of lives, but $2 billion. And people lost confidence in the state as a result of this, because they're being told every day, this is safe, reliable power. All of a sudden it isn't.
Yeah.
All of a sudden 50,000 people have been moved out of their city.
Yeah.
All of a sudden people are dying of cancer sooner.
Well,
And, bankruptcy plus the loss of faith in the state, which was the entire point of communism. The state will look out for you. You are the state.
Yeah.
It's gone now, isn't it?
Yep.
You would certainly lose faith in your government, a little bit like we're losing faith in ours.
We lost faith in ours a fucking long time ago.
When they do really silly things. I'm not comparing Brexit to the Chernobyl disaster, but I kind of am, if you know what I mean. Like if a fucking disaster like that happened here, whoever was in power, you would certainly be like, hey, I don't think
I don't have my confidence in this chap anymore.
I don't think you should really be in charge of things.
Alright, hypothetical. Obviously Theresa May is leaving office soon. Let's say that, I don't know, let's throw it out there, Boris gets the job. Alright? We have a Chernobyl style disaster. Boris is at the helm.
I can assure you that we are building things, dude, it's lovely, everything's fine.
Cricket.
Tally ho, jolly good.
Then he'd start reciting a Kipling poem in Latin.
Yes. Buy one of my lovely novels that I've written. Fuck, can you imagine reading? I saw it in Smith's. I did a double take and I was like,
He wrote a novel?
Yeah, he wrote a novel.
Oof.
He might have wrote more than one, I think. But
Jesus.
I didn't pick it, I didn't read the blurb, nothing. I just saw the name and the thing. It was like, oh God. Should politicians have time for novels?
Arguably not.
Big fat fucking novels.
It was probably about a history of fucking Eton or something like that.
Yeah.
Bunnington Club.
They
wanker.
don't do any work, do they? He's at the top.
Can't
They've
have
got
the feeling
employees that do all the work and they take all the
I should-
credit.
Yeah. Can't get the feeling I should go into politics.
You're a bit of a cunt, you'll get on fine.
I'm not debating that.
You could go for one of them far right parties.
Nah, I want to be for the people.
I'll vote for you. I'm joking.
You probably would.
I'm joking. I'm not a fucking alt-right Nazi.
I'd expect at least 2 votes in this fucking election, let's put it that way.
According to Mike, I'm a
Fucking
real.
vote for it.
Why not?
You're a fascist.
I'm a
What a
real
fascist.
liberal. I'm a real liberal, aren't I? What were you saying? I'm not
Progressive.
a progressive. I'm a liberal.
No,
That's
you're a progressive, not a liberal.
Hang on, you're breaking my brain here. Progressives are the people that want, like, the woke people. They're the progressive people, aren't they?
No, liberals you want about.
Oh, fuck it.
I'm lost
It's
anyway.
all just fucking
Right.
labels.
What articles
Yeah.
what
We're
we
all
have to finish
people at
on?
the end of the day.
Well, we've been quite
We all want
light.
the same things.
We've been quite light on conspiracy theory because there's all so much real stuff that actually happened. But,
Yeah.
I found something from Newsweek which says, "Did the Chernobyl disaster cover up something even worse?"
Ooh.
Portal to hell.
Maybe.
I wish. Dormant for a decade and a half, the Russian woodpecker appeared to return in December 2013, once the notorious tapping of the massive Soviet over-the-horizon radar had frustrated and puzzled Western radio operators who could discern neither the origin nor the purpose of the strange signal. It was coming from somewhere behind the Iron Curtain. Its frequency, 10 Hz, made some think it was intended for mind control. In 1981, an NBC newscaster wondered, quote, "Are they trying to reduce us to a zombie stumbling and groping around and waiting to be told what to do?" And no, he wasn't hosting Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. Even after the fall of the Soviet Union, the 14,000-ton military radar installation in northern Ukraine, near the border with Belarusia, has remained a mystery to outside observers, largely because it sits right next to the Chernobyl atomic energy station.
It's an issue.
Where a reactor meltdown in the spring of '86 rendered the surrounding area uninhabitable for the next, several thousand years.
I've heard 30,000 years.
I've heard 50.
Several.
Either way, in and off.
Isn't it? I don't know.
Point is, when the human race is dead and gone,
it'll still be there.
that'll still be there.
Well, a nuclear wasteland is just the sort of thing to attract a jaded 21st century tourist who doesn't want to hear about your wild week on Phuket, and the exclusion zone has recently seen a drastic increase in visitors, even if it remains a potential radioactive tinderbox. The site, deemed Chernobyl 2, a tiny military outpost that housed the operation of the Russian woodpecker, known formally as Duga 3, is also opening up to tourists, albeit more slowly. And despite the fact that Russian President Vladimir Putin does not seem intent on restoring some version of the Cuban Missile Crisis sensibility to world affairs, the Russian woodpecker has not gone back to terrorising the airwaves with its maddening tap. The radioactivity and ruin of the exclusion zone guarantee that the radar installation will stand as a sturdy but utterly obsolete monument to the bloody and bellicose 20th century. The sound radio operators picked up in the winter of 2013 and 2014 may have been a new Russian over-the-horizon radar of the container family. It may sound like the woodpecker, and Justin Timberlake can dance like Michael Jackson. Oh, I guess he's saying it doesn't mean it's the same one. There was only one genuine article and it's gone, and yet the Russian woodpecker continues to exert its pull on the imagination of geeks, adventurers and conspiracists, partly because of its shadowy Cold War provenance, but also by dint of its location, as a sort of younger sibling to the nuclear ruins down the road. The star of the documentary, there's a new documentary about it called The Russian Woodpecker, by an American filmmaker, Chad Garcia. The star of the documentary is Fedor Xlanadrovich, a young Ukrainian performance artist whose wild hair and bouncing eyes recalled Dostoevsky's Prince Mishkin. In the film, Alexandrovich plays the role of an investigative journalist, one who is seized by the conviction that the Chernobyl disaster of 1986 was staged by Moscow to cover up the expensive failure of the Russian woodpecker, which cost 7 billion rubles to build.
Wow.
That is twice as much as the nuclear power plant. His claims strain credulity, and as he interviews former workers of both Chernobyl and the Russian woodpecker, some don't mind telling him so. Bullshit, one says. Extremely fantastical, another warns him fruitlessly. Others, though, are more amenable to his conspiracy theory, puzzled as they still are 20 years later by how what should have been a routine test of Reactor 4 went so disastrously wrong.
I think we've established that part.
Well, we are, after all, talking about a country where no depravity is impossible, no principle sacrosanct. Still, it's hard to call his version of events anything other than a conspiracy theory. If he were not such a magnetic subject, or if Chernobyl weren't so eerily telegenic, I doubt there would have been a sleek American documentary for me to write about. So anyway, essentially, it sounds interesting though, I'd like to watch it, but...
So that radar thing did
Yeah.
something to the reactor, but there was 4 reactors.
Oh, no. I think his conspiracy theory is...
They blew it to cover up.
To cover up the fact
mess.
that they spent twice as much on a useless fucking...
Radar
thing that was essentially just driving radio operators around the world mental, because it was called the woodpecker because it was literally going tick 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 tick, this signal that could actually apparently be heard on normal, you could pick it up on normal radio as well.
Wow.
And it was driving everybody mental, nobody knew why. That might have been just an expensive mind fuck on the Russians' part.
Possibly.
We've got no idea, but he's saying that then maybe something was about to come out, I don't know, because if by the signs of it, if they were in such a bad way economically, they didn't need people knowing that they spent, what did I say,
7 billion
on this fucking radar, so they're like, fuck it, blow up the fucking reactor next door and we'll have a disaster. I doubt it's true, but it's the only, the only other conspiracy I came across was that this was caused by the CIA. I don't know the ins and outs
Undercover operative.
how. Right,
Blew the plan,
right.
makes the Soviets look bad.
But isn't that also dangerous for all of the USA's allies and the USA itself?
I think the USA cares about that, a few NATO allies.
But what
Remember
if,
back in the day, in the event of a Soviet invasion, a ground invasion by the Soviets, West Germany was basically targeted for nuclear annihilation. The River Rhine was the nuclear defence line. Everyone poured back that way, and we fucking nuked the shit out of Western Germany. And then someone pointed out that a Western Germany abandoned to nuclear destruction has no incentive to remain part of NATO. And they abandoned that plan.
But the CIA operative, he had no way of knowing that they could ever, if he started a fire, that it could ever be contained. He could have literally killed the world, couldn't he?
Yeah, maybe it was maybe the CIA weren't aware of the flaw, and they said just do this, and it went a lot worse than they thought it was going to.
Okay.
That's a possibility, because I mean, remember, even the Soviet nuclear scientists weren't aware of the low power flaw. Maybe Dyatlov himself was a CIA sleeper, MK Ultra.
There could be something to that. They get hold of him and say, listen buddy, because of your government, that fucking thing you were working on, the submarine, which is where he was before Chernobyl, that went wrong and killed your son, essentially.
Allegedly. There's still not a connection, but it's thought that that's what happened.
You could get in his head though, couldn't you? That's down to your fucking shoddy Soviet fucking...
Yeah.
You've got nothing to live for now. Sun's gone. You've had your lifetime dose of radiation.
Pretty much. Though he did... I mean, I'm surprised he fucking survived Chernobyl.
Yeah, he died in prison, didn't he?
No, he did his 10 years.
Oh, did he die outside?
Yeah, he died... And completely refused any guilt up to his dying day.
Yeah, I saw that. He blamed the reactor.
Wasn't me.
Blamed the people who built it. So what have you got, Mike? And then I guess we'll wrap up.
Yeah, just about what's going on there now at the Chernobyl exclusion zone.
Oh, by the way, I just did a quick Google search. If you want a holiday, I only looked at the top result for time purposes. 739 quid. Travel to Ukraine and back, accommodation, and a tour of the Chernobyl and Pripyat, and you can get...
Yeah.
I can't remember... I'm not sure if you get about 30 minutes near Reactor 4, and then you go to Pripyat, where the radiation has died down. But you have got like a radiation detector on you. You're checked on the way in, you're checked on the way out, you're decontaminated.
Well, that's a much cheaper way to get cancer than smoking for 20 years, isn't it? So yeah, knock yourselves out.
I'd go.
I wouldn't. Absolutely zero interest. Like,
I've seen the drone footage. There's no need to go.
It's an
Yeah,
abandoned
but imagine
town.
the fucking area it is.
It's
Imagine
just
the atmosphere.
An abandoned town.
You're
It
gonna have
give
the
you
danger
cancer.
there, that fucking Geiger counter clicking, you're like, whoa, get a bit fucking risky now, eh? Just put me lead cod piece on, there we go. Protect me nuts,
Does that
boys.
does that make you brave or incredibly stupid?
A little bit of both.
I've got zero interest in seeing it.
What if you trip and fall down a well, nuclear well?
Well, you're dead, aren't you?
No, you don't have to die because you fall down a well.
No, but you're going to get a massive dose of poisoning and...
Well, he
Die.
wants that risk.
Well, I'm not going to fall down a well.
How do you know?
Well, because it'd be pretty obvious, wouldn't it?
I don't know, you klutz. It could be like the radiation that's coming up from the well. They covered it over, but it's loosened the soil and weakened the.
That's it.
The
Then my
integrity of
radiation
the
counter will
ground.
click and they'll get me out of there.
Yeah, but you're falling, you're tripping over.
Oh, I'm falling down
over.
here. I'm dead anyway, aren't I? Doesn't matter.
Or go to the fucking Algarve. Eat olives in the sun on a lounger.
I'd like to go and...
You ain't gonna get nut cancer.
No.
I'd like to go and see it. I would. You know, I've got a bit of a macabre thing about the past. I mean, when we said did time travel, I said I wanted to go to Waterloo and the Titanic.
Supposed to see millions of people die.
I don't want to see millions of people die. I want to see what's there. I want to. It's
Of all the things. Well,
Watch people drown.
I don't want to go. I don't.
I used to be.
Like Mike
drowning.
said, drone footage. Just watch the. I bet their fucking drones get.
Yeah, but
cancer.
that's the 21st century. Then it's like, oh yeah, go and see some with your own eyes.
700 quid. You could go.
Won't be the last thing you see with your eyes.
You won't be the last thing.
It'll melt out your face.
No one who goes there. They've all got the strict. As soon as your radiation goes too high, you're strictly timed. You
That
can't get
radiator
anything.
counter can't protect you from 6 foot long rats.
Or the 5,000 plus
Now you
wild
mentioned that.
5,000 plus wild dogs that live in there.
Yeah.
Apparently mutated wolves too, but I don't know
Okay.
It
true.
is now one of the most rich and diverse nature reserves on the earth.
It is.
Radioactive.
Oh, a lot of them will
nature
be, yeah.
reserve.
But nature's reclaimed it.
Mm.
It's that diverse now
Yeah.
because no man's not there.
That's it. There's trees as tall as blocks of flats in Pripyat now.
Hashtag diversity. No room for old white men at Chernobyl.
There's no room really for anyone at Chernobyl.
Well,
Actually, it's interesting. You can now adopt a dog from Chernobyl.
I agree with the fact
They,
that you can't adopt a dog from
no, you
Chernobyl.
can.
Oh, you can?
You can. Because there's like about 5,000 wild dogs. They sadly, because of they're born in that radiation, they tend to, well, in Chernobyl, they tend to die when they're about 4 or 5. But if you adopt one, they get decontaminated. You can give one a good little life. Little Russian puppy.
To anybody listening,
Chernobyl dog.
I would just go down your local, what's it called, the dogs charity in the UK.
Oh, well, many. Hillbrae's and one close to us. The PDSA, is it?
Yeah, if you want to, don't save a radioactive dog. I mean, I know I feel
Why
bad
not?
for them.
They get decontaminated. They're brought out. Give them a life.
How much do you trust that decontamination process when you could just get a
Well,
non-cancer dog?
because he has to go into quarantine when he comes in the UK. He'll get checked
Fuck 'em.
again.
It sucks for them. I'm an animal lover. I really am. You know I am. But it sucks for those dogs that they were born out there. Really does. Unlucky. But don't fucking spread them around the world. Like, yeah, we've washed them off. They're all right. You can have one. You can have one. Yeah, have a cancer dog. Here's another one. Don't let it sit on your lap. Do you know what I mean?
Don't sit on your lap because they're wrong.
Fucking cancer dog that slowly kills the entire
It's been
family just by sitting in the room. You can look what happened to their power station. Do you trust their decontamination fucking abilities?
Yeah.
It's still the Ukraine. No offence, Ukraine.
I'll read the article. Anyway, we got a bit distracted there.
Ben's Cancer Dog Hotel.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it. A kiosk at the checkpoint, because you go through several checkpoints to get into the quarantine zone, offers a range of items for sale, including gas masks and Geiger counters. Geiger counters would be pretty important. I'd be tempted to buy one of them. You can also enjoy a Chernobyl hot dog or some radioactive cookies. I doubt they are, though. That's pretty just marketing.
A Chernobyl hot dog. Made from the cops that
go back a bit.
Chernobyl dropped off everyone that worked there.
There you go. That's locals generally stay away from visiting Chernobyl, and many still clearly remember the crisis that unfolded over the May Day celebrations of that year. The ghost town of Pripyat, once upheld by Soviet planners as a workers' utopia, comrade worker utopia, has been abandoned for over 3 decades, but haunting signs of its former life remain. Rows of empty apartment blocks, restaurants, a supermarket, and even a cinema are still standing, seemingly frozen in time since the evacuation. Former workers at the Atomgrad, which is a nuclear town, basically, fondly remember how the shelves of the then newly built supermarket were stacked with food and luxury items such as French perfume, which was scarce elsewhere in the USSR.
I just had a massive brainwave. Atomic Grad, what did you say?
Atomgrad.
Atomic Town.
Yeah.
Stalingrad, just named after Stalin and called Stalin Town.
Yeah.
Fucking every day's a fucking school day
Used
on
to be
this
called
podcast.
Leningrad, didn't it?
No, Leningrad was up north. I think that's St. Petersburg now.
Yeah.
Well, it was St. Petersburg before, then it was Lenin. I could be wrong. Apologies to our Russian listeners. We do have some. Good news is, though, wild horses and deer roam freely around the perimeter, which has become an unlikely nature reserve, and the re-emergence of wild animals are flourishing thanks to the disappearance of humans. The peacefulness of the area has also attracted the attention of nature-loving, quote, stalkers who live in the zone undetected for weeks until they're caught by disapproving authorities. So people who go and look at the animals, wild
Just want to
animals.
live in nature.
Belarus.
Probably there to hunt as well.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I
wouldn't advise it.
I'd go armed.
I wouldn't put it past
I don't want
people.
that 3-headed deer to fucking impale me while I sleep.
Think about it, if you're a hunting type and you hear of this animal paradise, what comes across your mind?
Well, yeah.
No, I'm not going to go and do some lovely sketches.
Yeah, there is that.
Probably
I
a
think
mixture of
Belarus has actually opened up about 1,200 miles of quarantine zone as a nature reserve now.
Okay.
Nature's flourishing there.
Just don't humans go
We're
there.
just like,
Well, we can't go there.
Leave them
no,
to it.
they just sort of left it. I think you can go, but for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you can't live there.
You can't live there. You can visit it, but you can't. You're closely escorted in and out. And
you can't settle there.
No.
Not for thousands of years.
And that's what this will be. This will be like a nature reserve at one point. This entire 1,000 square mile of exclusion zone where nature.
Before the Earth finally goes in about 50 years, it may be the only bit of nature left.
Yeah, because we can't live there. But nature adapts and overcomes, doesn't it? It evolves faster than we do.
Nature evolves faster than we do.
Well, it just because
we are nature.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like trees will keep on, even in high levels of radiation, will keep on sprouting leaves out.
Yeah, we'll still keep giving birth to kids.
Yeah, but it doesn't affect the trees like it affects us. We're more sensitive to radiation. They evolve quicker to deal with it. They adapt.
Maybe.
I am Groot.
Exactly. Maybe Groot was a Chernobyl tree. Thought about that? There's a conspiracy theory for you.
Never know. Well, I'm certainly not going to go and visit.
Nope.
I would. Yeah. Looks like I have to be Billy Big Bollocks once again.
You won't be when you come back.
Or
Billy No Bollocks.
Or I might have massive swollen radioactive testicles. And I produce a line of superheroes. Have you thought about that?
No.
Gods amongst men. How'd you know?
God.
Could happen.
Well, you book your flight and go and rub your balls on the soil.
Don't want to go rub my balls in the soil. I just want to go and see it.
You go and have sex with a Chernobyl deer.
Is that what they call them?
Tell me if you get superpowers. Oh, man.
Oh, well. Alright, so, yeah. So, go on then. Give me your final thoughts on the Chernobyl disaster.
Well, I don't think there's much, in my personal opinion, don't think there's much conspiracy going on. I think it was just a badly designed reactor and a bit of human arrogance.
I think arrogance is the main factor here.
Arrogance, pig-headedness, like the entire Soviet kind of system of, you know, don't question me, little punk. Press that
Pretty
fucking button. Yeah, I think it was
Do the test!
Yeah, a horrible
Stop procrastinating.
fuck up. I was actually a bit disappointed that I didn't find more online of, like, I thought there'd be more mad theories about just mutant animals and, you know, maybe there's not even like a myth of a monster wandering around there. Or
I genuinely suspect that a lot of it isn't made public about the effects on the animals, on the people.
Yeah.
That's what I was, because even Russia today is a country that's deeply afraid of being humiliated. That's one of the hangovers they've got from the. That's why even now they're bringing out like, oh yeah, by the way, we've got a new generation of nuclear weapons.
Oh,
It's called, you know, Satan 2.
Satan 2.
Satan 2, more Satan-y than the previous one.
Satan 2, Satan harder.
Yeah. Satan 2 Judgment Day, I think, was more likely. But, you know, they're designing new battle tanks, they're massively increasing their military again.
Yeah, but surely there's independent scientists from other countries that have been there and observed.
Maybe they just saw what they wanted them to see. You're under guard the entire time you're there, so you're wandering off.
Yeah.
In case you decide to settle down in the quarantine zone.
I just think it's madness. I can't believe it. I knew there was an explosion there, whatever. That's all I knew about it.
Me too.
Having watched the series and then and delve into it with us, it's just I can't believe it.
It's mind blowing, isn't it? Really.
What are we doing?
How
What the
stupid
fuck
we could
are
be.
we doing? We need to sort ourselves out and sort ourselves out fucking quick, because we're heading for destruction. Like I said, we're a fucking death cult. Human race is a death cult. One big death cult. And we're fucking heading towards suicide.
There's only one way to leave the colony, Mike, and that's in a fucking body bag. I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. So you might as well.
Or a space shuttle.
No, you'll still die.
Pioneers.
They die too.
Well, they
In
do.
fact, they die pretty hard, pioneers.
Yeah. Better than a slow death than, let's say a slow death. A quick death. I don't want to sit in a bed with my skin melting off me. Like those poor fucking firemen that went in first.
Me either.
I mean, Mike, you've seen the show, the makeup, whoever did the makeup in that show, I'm telling you, deserves some, whatever the award is for makeup, give them that. And when you watch it, Gaz, which you're planning on,
I am.
you will go, fuck me.
Yeah.
That's pretty horrific. And there are photos of those dudes online.
No, I won't be.
I did have a look
those.
at that, and it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I won't be looking for those. So is that your?
Yeah.
Is that your final thought, Mike?
No,
We're
I'll just say that
idiots.
We're doomed.
you're saying we're doomed.
We're doomed.
I don't think there's a conspiracy behind it. I just think it's like most disasters of this scale. It's human error coupled with that design flaw. But
that's human error then, I suppose,
But
isn't it? Design flaw.
the design flaw was known but not circulated. But at the same time, that reactor wasn't meant to dip below 200 megawatts. Sadly, they had a string of bad decisions and pressure.
If only they'd seen the movie Speed. This reactor must not drop below 500 megatons, or the bomb will go off.
Or in the Russian version, I'd imagine it's called Speed Ski.
Chernobyl ski.
I think even if they'd have known about that flaw, they made several errors. Would the day shift have done it better than the night shift?
They wouldn't have been as tired.
Well, the shift changeover was midnight, so they're actually about an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 26 minutes, I forget, an hour and a bit into their shift. When Diallo comes in, right, but the thing is, the reason he wanted to run that test is that reactor had been up and running for 3 years. It was the last reactor put in.
Yeah.
1, 2 and 3 had done that test, but they were taking it down to half power and then back up again. Test was fine, didn't drop below the 200 megahertz mark.
But they couldn't do it, could they? Because they needed the power. There was
So Kiev
pressure
brings
from
them up.
above saying, look, we with the factories need to produce whatever they have to produce, and we need the power for the country. You can't shut the power plant down. We're at half power.
Yeah.
Even one reactor, you can't do it. We can't afford it. You have to do it at night.
And that's why reactors 1, 2 and 3 were
Maybe.
still running when all this was going
I
on.
think the day shift may have been more knowledgeable and said, hang on a minute, we're not taking it past halfway.
Yeah.
We didn't for the others, we won't do it.
Well, they wanted that test. They wanted to... thing is, those three, Dyatlov, Fomir and the other guy, I forget his name, I'll look at my notes. They were the 3 dudes in charge of this place. And they signed off on Reactor 4 because they got it ready early. I think it was up and running 2 months earlier than it should have been. They got given awards. Like the Order of the Soviet Worker, the Order of the Red Banner. They got given legitimate awards for this. But they'd never done that test.
They should get a Darwin Award after.
They'd never done this safety test, which they'd done on the previous 3, on number 4. And 3 years later, they still hadn't done it. The moment just hadn't come. So now, like, there's a chance of promotion. And the one guy goes, oh, I can move up. So he moves up. And Dyatlov, you can move up too and live in the better town with a nicer house and better food. Even though Pripyat was still pretty nice by Soviet standards, you can live in the better end of town.
Yeah.
He's just thinking of himself at that point, isn't he?
Yeah. What a prick.
I think you can agree, I think we can all agree, that Dyatlov was a prick.
Yeah. A massive, massive bellend.
And he did, I mean, he says, like, when we said, like, oh, when it dropped to 30 megawatts, the reactor. And they were like, look, it's going to take 16 hours to build us back up again to normal operating power. He's just like, no, raise it. Raise the power. Withdraw the rods. Get it back. And then he's like, oh, you stalled it. It's your fault. There's a build-up of gas. It's your fault. No, you fucking made the call to fucking... he was a man. He was just an he's an egomaniac in charge of a nuclear bomb, effectively.
Yeah.
And it went off.
It's a product of the society he was born into.
I don't know if I'd agree with that. There was a lot of Soviet people who were very good at their jobs. I mean, everyone... I can't remember his name, but there's a guy he was a commissar on a nuclear sub in the Cuban Missile Crisis, and he effectively averted World War III by overriding the captain. There were a lot of people in high party positions. There were sensible.
Both still products of their society, though.
There still are, but he was, in a way, you'd argue he was more of a capitalist. He was money grabbing.
Like I said, it wasn't proper communism.
Keep flying that flag.
That red flag, keep it flying high. You know, that's my thought. I think it was just a sad incident that one guy's ego led to something that could have wiped out most of you. I mean,
Just should never have.
If that had been going-
build them in the first place. That's
if
where
that
I
but
stand.
if that had been going for a week before the Soviet government sent someone to look at it, imagine how worse it would have been.
Well,
And that's just a week, and then you've got the couple of months where you've got to build that fucking sarcophagus and get those guys. I mean, look at the guys up there, 90 seconds. Hey, get your homemade lead apron on. And get out there and shovel some
Mental,
radioactive
innit?
graphite. Hey, by the way, a fireman picked that up earlier. Got the equivalent of 10,000 X-rays to his hand.
Dead now.
Yeah, he's dead now. But you've got to go up there with a lead apron. That, well, by the way, you want it to cover your nuts when you go up there. You want to go as far as you can, to be fair, mate.
yeah.
Get a shovel, pick that up in the shovel, and launch it over the fucking side into the core, the exposed core that's still exposed. You've got to be Billy Big Bollocks, haven't you? I mean, 90 seconds. What if you trip over on the way back in?
If only.
What if you fall over and cut your trousers open or something like that? You're fucking dead.
Well, and it's all down to that geezer. I agree. So I think we can, in conclusion, safely say nuclear power, possibly not as safe as they say.
Yeah.
Ego shouldn't come into it whilst running a nuclear plant.
Yes, ego.
Dreams of promotion.
Yeah.
Not letting down your Soviet superiors.
But you know what? I did like how they called everybody comrade. Don't know what it was. Just something cool about it.
Comrade. Well, fuck that comrade in particular. I think that was a pretty extensive and quite informative for us.
Oh, thank you.
Some actual facts.
I did go down a rabbit hole.
Well, we it's not often we talk about something that there's no denial of what actually happened. You know
That's
what
true,
I mean?
actually.
So yeah, I enjoyed that. It was really, really interesting.
And seriously, do watch the show.
I definitely intend to, because I'm interested in things like this, sort of human error disasters. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, I guess it is morbid curiosity, but it's a bit like what Mike said earlier, just of like, I can't fucking believe we're capable of this. But yeah, awesome. So what are we doing next?
Finish on some weird news and full Alex.
Woo!
Well, not finish on, obviously. That's something completely different.
Alex would probably love it.
He probably would.
Secret game.
So,
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
let's do some weird news. What we got first, Mike? Right, okay. From the Express, not a credible UK paper, let's say, but still.
Nibiru, baby!
Nibiru was Planet X. Oh no, Pluto's not a planet anymore. They've knocked it down, haven't they?
Oh.
So Planet 9 breakthrough. Astronomer reveals we know its orbit pretty well. Planet 9 is a theoretical world hiding somewhere in the region of space beyond the Kuiper belt at the far end of the solar system, believed to be the 9th planet from the Sun. No one has ever seen Planet 9, but the planet is theorised to be 10 times bigger than Earth. An unseen planet this big would explain why some Kuiper objects appear to clump together as if experiencing the gravity of a large planet. Planet 9 was first proposed in 2016 by astronomers at the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, and direct observations are yet to be made. But, and here's the but, Caltech professor Michael Brown, who originally came up with the Planet 9 theory, is certain astronomers are not too far off from discovering the planet. And, in a shocking announcement on live radio, Professor Brown has revealed he's pretty optimistic about knowing Planet 9's orbit of the Sun. Speaking to Linda Moulton-Howe, who I have heard on the Unexplained podcast, she's a conspiracy journalist.
Okay.
You'd argue much the same as a woman on Joe Rogan the other week.
Is she what was her name, Mike? Just for the listener, can you remember? The woman we watched on Joe Rogan? No, I can't remember either. She's done stuff about Project Paperclip and aliens, all sorts, for the listener. Sorry, that's not very helpful, but yeah.
Annie Jacobson was the one we're talking about. They're a journalist who looks into conspiracies
Is she
and
a bit
approaches
like-
it with a journalistic approach.
Like me, a broadcast journalist.
No, because she's made a lot more money out of this than you have.
It's not about money.
But then again, I also have to look at, they might pass themselves off as a broadcast journalist like yourself.
I don't pass myself as anything.
You would argue that they also make a very good living at speaking tours.
Okay, alright,
So,
alright, okay.
which we don't.
Alright. Cristiano Ronaldo is a footballer, yeah?
He is.
He gets paid millions and millions, he's a footballer, yeah?
Well done, he is.
Trevor fucking Donkey Toes, who plays semi-professionally for...
Market Drayton.
Market Drayton, right? In the fucking...
Why did you...
Midland combination.
Yeah.
Why did you
screw
immediately
fix.
associate Donkey Toes with Market Drayton?
But my point is, he's a footballer, isn't
Mike
he?
shrugs.
Is fucking Donkey Toes a footballer or not?
He is.
And so is Cristiano. So you're saying to me, because I don't earn as much money as her, that my journalism is somehow less valid.
No, Gaz, what I'm saying is
Fascist.
you're less biased than her.
A better broadcast
In a
journalist,
way.
you might say.
Don't go that far, because she's...
That's what he's saying.
Oh, God,
No. Let me finish. She's actually been a journalist, like an educated, someone who was educated in journalism.
Bias against you now. Saying you're uneducated.
As you haven't done a degree in
Hands
journalism.
up if you've been to university in the room. I
There's
see
two
two
hands
hands. One of them isn't yours.
University of life, mate.
Hands up if you dropped out of university.
Just the one going up there.
Just me. So I never actually passed, but they let me in.
They might have let me in if I'd have asked.
Probably would. You definitely could have got in if you'd have tried. My point is, I don't need a journalism degree, Ben,
I
to
used
be
to
a
want to be on
journalist.
I used to want to be on the piss for a year and spend all the student grant.
That's essentially what I
Duh.
did.
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, but I'll never actually pass the first year. I'll just be too drunk.
I think were we talking about
I did creative writing, I couldn't really fail.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I picked a subject that I knew I'd pass.
Hey,
As long as you had a spark of imagination, it was fine.
he has.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying he hasn't, but
I
yeah.
think we were talking last week when I said that, because I've got a fairly decent comic book collection, and it was a massive part of it was funded by my university degree, because I'd never had internet access like 24/7. There's a computer room downstairs in the halls. Like, we didn't have a PC at home. I had internet, but only at college. So all of a sudden I had a bank account with more money in it than I'd ever had in it at any point previously in my life, and 24/7 internet access. I didn't buy a single fucking textbook, I don't think, that first year. I passed the first year, but it was, I felt rich. I genuinely felt rich. I'd never had that much money in one go before. It was ace.
I imagine you did some class A's.
Actually, not at uni. I was purely weed at uni, and I wasn't as big of a drinker as I am now back then as well. I would fucking listen to music and get high as fuck in my little dorm room. It was my first place that was mine.
Yeah.
Read my comic books. Thanks,
time.
government. They
I was
paid
just
for
sitting for
that.
The Sims all day.
Hey.
The Xbox.
They paid for that.
I was working.
What a
Hey.
schmuck. The schmo you are.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it?
Well, to be fair, I feel like the schmo every month.
Maybe
when
I should go
look
back
at
to uni now. Just quit my job and go to uni.
It's what my missus is doing.
Yeah, and just like live in the halls.
If
Can I
it
live
was
in the
free,
halls at
mate, I
35?
would. If it was free, I would.
This is the
That's like
thing,
36, I'm
my-
36. Can I live in the halls at 36? I'd be a fucking god. I'd be a golden god.
Or the weird old guy.
Yeah, no one speaks.
Who
now.
can
Old creepy racist guy.
Who can outdrink?
He's so unwoke.
Who can still fucking outdrink them all? I'd
Yeah,
be a
because
fucking
they
legend.
all eat kale and drink milkshakes
I'd
and
be
go
a
jogging.
fucking legend if I
A
was university.
legend. They're not like us. They
I'd
won't
be
be
a golden
impressed
god,
by beer
Gaz.
swilling. They'll
A
be like,
golden
he's
god.
such a Luddite. Look at him. He's had 18 pints.
Still standing, baby.
He's pissed himself. And I don't give a fuck.
I've never pissed myself.
Just pissed in the wardrobe.
Just pissed in the wardrobe and a tent. But that's
I've
not.
pissed myself and pissed
Oh yeah,
in a
pissed,
wardrobe.
pissed over somebody in a tent.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it wasn't even sexual.
I think
Oh,
he's
yeah, the
seriously
welcome to.
miscalculated.
Is he weird? Look over and Ben's pissing on.
I was steaming. I was more drunk than I'd ever been in my life. I genuinely thought I was outside. Yeah, I wasn't even awake. Gaz. I was sleep
I've been there,
pissing.
man. I've been there. Sleep pissing. I did it in somebody else's wardrobe at a party. That didn't go down well.
I bet.
I think if it hadn't have been for a good friend of ours, or someone we know in Covin, Mr. Finch, I was probably quite close to getting my head kicked in that night. I was certainly thrown out aggressively, but I did also get laid that night, so who's winning?
I tell you got laid first.
I got laid before the pissing incident. Yeah, I left her room and went and pissed in the wardrobe of her flatmate, who was a large, angry man.
Not so good.
Yeah, it wasn't so good, but hey.
What the hell?
Wasn't my wardrobe.
Next weird news.
I don't think we finished this one.
Haven't we?
Oh yeah, what happened? Oh no, we didn't. Fuck it.
So Linda Moulton Home said, if we knew exactly where it was, we wouldn't have to be inferring. We were just going to look at it and say, look, there it is. So we don't know exactly where it is, because all we know is long-term gravitational effect on these other bodies. We know it's all... Well, hang on, I'm confused now.
What?
If it's too massive, it destroys the outer solar system. If it's not tilted the way we think it's tilted, it doesn't tilt the objects the way they're tilted. So all of these details we can infer from the detailed computer simulations we've been doing.
So basically, they can see the impact of something out there on these objects, but they don't know what it is.
Yeah, but it might not be that, it might be something else.
Well, it might be. It might be a black hole.
Could be. Approaching our solar system
That's why we
rapidly.
can't see it.
Yeah.
Or Planet X.
Planet 9 now.
Planet 9.
Planet...
IX.
Yeah, does it Planet what? IX?
Fucking hell, IX. You know what I meant, you pedantic bastard. Nibiru.
Yep.
The people who seeded us, our forefathers.
Allegedly.
We found them.
Or they don't want to come back.
Of course they fucking don't. Look at the state of us. It's like if you had a one night stand with some like real serious scally from the estate and impregnated her, you wouldn't go back very often to visit.
No, you wouldn't.
You'd send the checks.
If you get away with that, you wouldn't.
Exactly.
Basically, he thinks that it's 7 times the distance from the Sun to Neptune.
That's pretty far.
Yep.
Because Neptune's pretty out there, isn't it?
Pretty out there.
It's out there, man. Excuse me, sorry, I'm yawning. That's not a reflection on the company. I'm just fucking tired. But anyway, Nibiru, I believe, is real, and here we have the proof on Coast to Coast FM.
Wow, Coast to Coast FM, known for its truth-telling.
That's where Art Bell used to work, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was also a little bit crazy, wasn't he?
Murdered.
Allegedly.
Silenced.
According to NASA,
Took him long enough, didn't it?
according to NASA, there is mathematical evidence to support the Planet 9 theory, but observations still need to be made.
Well, if NASA say so.
Well, send Space Force.
Yeah. Maybe that's what... Fuck. What if... We know this is going to swing round again.
Yeah.
Trumpy baby. He's the only man with a vision to create a space force to protect us.
And because he saves the world...
What if solar warden isn't real? What if it's just space force?
And because he saves the galaxy, he's given eternal presidency.
Yeah. God Emperor Trump.
Of the entire world.
And apparently this could take between 10 and 20,000 Earth years to orbit the Sun.
What if it's meant to turn up again?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
All the ancient aliens goes back to about 20,000 years.
It'd be shit waiting for Christmas there, wouldn't it? 120,000 years till the next one.
20,000.
Oh, 20,000. I suppose the songs wouldn't get on your nerves as much, would they?
Yeah, a lot of songs.
Because you haven't heard them for 20,000
No.
years. Wow.
Yeah, but at the same time you're like, wow, these guys are just banging rocks on bones on rocks to start with. Now we've got complicated symphonies. What a fucking...
Do they know it's Christmas time now?
Release it. This is Nibiru.
I just genuinely hope that there's certain songs that never made it out into space, and that is one of them.
Yeah, I agree.
What if Mbop went into space?
There won't be snow in Africa this Christmas. That's because of the fucking climate, Bono, you prick! Not because they're fucking poor.
And also,
Of course it doesn't snow.
And also, they don't know it's Christmas time.
They don't give a fuck. Christians, you prick.
Exactly. They have no idea. No, it's Christmas time.
Give me the fucking
Plus
money.
it does snow in Africa.
On the mountains.
On the mountains, yeah. I mean,
All right, science boy, we know what mountains are.
Not where there's drought and famine, it doesn't tend to snow.
Yeah, you knew what I meant. Again with a pedanticism. And I know that's probably not a word.
Anyway,
That's to be factually correct, damn it.
Oh, well, he is science officer.
Fucking hell.
Gotta get
If we've got to maintain factual correctness, we might as well pack the mics away. Close the laptop.
I didn't even follow Alex yet.
Okay, moving on. Woman felt like Shrek after lush bath bomb turned tub into black swamp.
You know, we used to have a Lush at the town centre, and for anyone abroad who hasn't got a Lush in their town, they used to sell bath bombs and soap and you had to crawl past Lush on your hands and knees like you were escaping a fucking tower fire. You just couldn't breathe and you walked past the place, and how the fuck the people worked in there, I have no idea.
It was quite sickly sweet. What happened to
Nicky? They had a campaign about animal fighting, and it was like animal fighting, it was a big logo and there's two hares boxing, and I had a friend who worked in there. I said, so, see the animal fighting thing, I'll give you 10 quid on the lion. Tinker down well.
Yeah, it's a hippie company who employs hippies.
Yeah. Pretty much, actually, yeah.
It is. What happened to her then, Mike?
Nikki Kinge from Southampton was left horrified by the gunge, but insists it left her skin feeling super soft.
Oh, well, that's
bit like
alright
my
then.
spunk. Sorry.
Well, fair enough. Is that why you look so youthful? You've nothing spunk on your own spunk on your face.
Well,
as you claim to be youthful, obviously.
it's fairly easy to come in one's own face.
You lift your legs up.
It's better than the foreskin of babies.
Yeah, exactly. We better fucking clarify that joke, just in case new listeners. Some fucking weirdo people buy this skin cream that does literally contain the foreskin of babies.
Remember, they were having it fucking tattoo needled into their face.
Oh yeah, it wasn't cream.
Liquid eyes, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were like getting the old shading tattoo gun out with the 4 needles on, dipping it in the foreskin.
Kate Beckinsale, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah, and then jabbing it into your face in a series of micro injections.
Yeah, she rubs baby dicks on her face,
Yeah.
not me. I just come in my own face, okay? It's completely different and a lot less perverse. You know? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, fair enough. Sorry, Mike. Please continue.
Yeah.
Within seconds of stepping into the bath, Nikki realised she had mistakenly picked up a jelly version of her usual bath bomb and watched in horror as she was covered in black, gelatinous goo.
Wow.
Like venom.
So what's the difference between what she picks up and what she usually has then?
I don't know, but it was thick and slimy substance that dripped from her fingers and felt it and left her feeling dirtier than when she got in. Horrified by the gunge, Nikki lasted just 3 minutes in the bath and was forced to splash the product off before hopping into her shower downstairs to get clean.
I'll just pop to the downstairs bathroom.
That does look a bit like the old Venom stuff.
There is
though.
a picture. It
Yeah.
is.
It looks like cow shit.
It does actually, doesn't it?
It doesn't look good, does it?
No.
I
Oh,
wanna get in it.
her skin looks very soft in that picture.
Yeah, it's done wonders for her. Well,
She feels a bit like Shrek.
Oh, Funhouse. She references Funhouse. There's a whole lot of prize to be won.
fun house. It's a crazy wacky show.
Something's in prizes to be won.
Fun.
Funhouse.
Fun house.
You need your body and your brain if you want to play this
the
game.
That's it.
Funhouse.
Yeah. And then the twins on it.
This is to be won. It's a real crazy show where
Anything will go.
Pat Sharp are the two twins.
Pat shot.
Yeah.
You know he banged them two twins. I say two twins. He just a set of
He
twins.
rocked a mullet in half, didn't he?
He had the best mullet in television.
Oh, I bet he's on heroin now.
No.
Huh?
No, he's cut the mullet. Last time I saw him, actually, hang on. Never mind the Buzzcocks.
Okay.
You know, it's a music quiz on British Time BBC. It's not on anymore. Basically, they had Jedward on it.
Oh dear.
They were just getting laughed at, and Pat Sharp's in the audience, and he was like, "Alright," and they're like, "Fuck you." He must have been invited as a guest by one of the guys on, and they kicked Jedward off the thing, sent them to the crowd, and got Pat Sharp in, because he was a DJ, wasn't he, as well, Pat Sharp, so he kind of knew a bit about music. They were like, "Well, these two are useless, can we have Pat Sharp?" And he was like, "Yeah!"
I'm surprised he wasn't gobbled up by Operation U-Tree.
Oh, how old are them twins?
I'll just help you down the slide, dear.
Hey, I want to have a thing said about Pat Sharp.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'll take it back. He doesn't touch kids.
Oh, can we call it piss break?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Right, so the last bit of weird news for this evening. Gaz, this one's for you, mate.
Oh dear. China clones Sherlock Holmes police dog to cut training times.
Wow.
Okay.
Should we just pronounce that as Kung Sun?
That's very good, actually.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. Kung Sun was cloned from a police sniffer dog in Beijing, but cost of process remains an obstacle. Scientists in southwest China's Yunnan province, Jesus, I'm slurring, I've had a beer, province, reportedly cloned what they call the Sherlock Holmes of police dogs in a program they hope will cut training times and costs for police dogs. The dog named Kung Shun, what did we say?
Kung Shun?
Let's call him Cunt for short.
No, that's not. I like it. He's a dog. Go on, a cunt.
Well, it's like an English cunt, a good cunt.
No, he's
you know
Kung Shun.
He's a bit of a cunt, but
He's
all
Kung
right.
Shun.
A bit of a cunt.
Kung Shun. He's
Cunt.
alright.
Alright. China dog was cloned from a police sniffer dog by the Beijing-based biotechnology company and the Yunnan Agricultural University, Yunnan. With support from the Ministry of Public Security, the state-owned tabloid Global Times reported. They're hoping to make it possible to achieve volume production of cloned police dogs in order to significantly reduce training times. The company's deputy general manager, Zhao Jinanping, told the Global Times, but he added that cloning costs remain a major obstacle. So are you telling me it's cheaper to just train them? So just train them.
Probably, but you have
You know
quite a high washout rate. Police dogs, and you have to rehome them.
Fucking pig dogs.
No, they're just dogs doing what they love, man.
fucking stitches. Not stitches, snitches, that's what I mean.
They are, but that's just the system they're in. I mean, they're
Stooges.
just doing what dogs like to do, which is sniff stuff.
Stooges and the man.
And they get rewarded when they find something. You
I
can't
know
blame
it
the
works.
dog.
I know it works.
You can't blame the dogs.
I know exactly how it
Dogs
works.
are innocent and all this. They're tools, man. They're unwilling tools. They're like us.
Tools of the man.
Exactly, they're like us.
Fascist dogs.
Even the dogs are being exploited under capitalism.
Don't like police dogs.
I don't like them when they're chasing me.
Exactly.
They're fine when they're not. Not that they ever chase me.
Well, training one of these little bastard dogs usually takes about 5 years and costs as much as 500,000
Yuan? Yuan?
500,000 of Chinese money.
That's a lot.
We're so professional.
I know. I thought it was the yen.
We're
I
incredible.
thought China had the yen.
No, that's Japan, isn't it?
Japan.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
The paper did not say how much a clone dog would cost, though. South Korean scientists created the world's first clone dog in 2005, and 2 years later the country began employing cloned Labrador retrievers to sniff out drugs for the customs service, China Daily said. Now, I've got to go back a minute and say I am a dog lover like you, Ben, so I don't really hate police dogs. But I just think this, I know you got to think of the future, but it's like, well, if it costs more to clone them than it does to train them, I'd stick with just training them.
Yeah, but
does
there's
it
going to be a
mention-
point when that technology becomes less expensive
And surely you've...
and more perfected.
Yes.
So if you've got the Sherlock Holmes of dogs...
But surely
and you
you've
just
still got
clone
to train him.
You have, but I suppose the genes in him, he'd be a little bit more intelligent, so if it's a direct clone, he would pick it up faster, and who's to say that every clone is the same? That throws up a whole another question.
But with the cloned ones, so you've got to pay to clone them and then still pay to train them, just maybe train them less.
Train them less, I think, would be the idea. If they're all exactly identical copies. But then again, you've got to look into upbringing as well. Does that affect them?
Of course it
There's
does.
certain environmental conditions that will affect the clones. So
It's
that,
vital.
again,
I like it's vital.
well, exactly. If he has exactly the same conditions as Sherlock Holmes' dog,
It
then-
should all be as good.
it should be, in theory, as good. But if it isn't, if it doesn't, then it's not going to be as good.
I would say
maybe
to the Chinese.
Maybe Sherlock Holmes' dog had his parents assassinated by a rogue other dog and had to track them down himself, and then he became the world's greatest sniffer dog. Who knows?
Basically, it's like starting from a more, like a better blueprint.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think that's the best way to describe it, actually, yeah. You've got this nice little blueprint on the side, and you're all right, well, I'm
so
all
we're going
that,
to build
please.
the house, you know, but you've got more details on that blueprint.
Yeah.
You know, rather than some shitty blueprint you just found on the street.
My advice to the Chinese government would be, don't fuck about with cloning dogs. Just doing what you've always done. I know it takes 5 years, and you might not get one as good as Sherlock Holmes' dog. But just do it the old-fashioned way. Don't start cloning dogs, because what if weird things start happening?
Yeah.
You know.
2 points, though. I'd like Sherlock Holmes' dog to be a German Shepherd in a deerstalker hat.
With a heroin addiction and a mate called Watson.
Possibly his little Labrador buddy's called Watson.
Yeah.
And if his Labrador buddy isn't called Watson, I want to know why.
Yeah.
Because you'd have Sherlock and Watson immediately.
Of course.
Hopefully, Sherlock Holmes' dog plays the violin and takes mescaline. And Watson talks him out of his suicidal depressions and takes him on to the world's greatest sniffer dog. But if this technology becomes more available, and without getting too sentimental, I would clone my last dog, quite happily.
But then
If it became affordable, I'd clone my last dog.
would you be happy looking into the soulless eyes of the clone and seeing the deadness behind
Depends
them?
if it looks soulless or not, doesn't it?
It's probably gonna.
I don't know.
You imagine it'll be exactly
It'd
the
be
same
weird
as
though,
the
wouldn't
dog.
it? If you clone the dog, but the dog's got a different personality.
Well, it's sort of nature nurture. If it
Yeah.
has the exact same experiences as the dog it was cloned
Yeah, but
from,
it
then it
can't
should
possibly,
turn into
can it?
exactly. It would turn into the exact same dog, but you can't guarantee that, so it's never going to be the exact
Well,
same dog.
have you got? Are they being born quotation marks, or are they popping out the tube at whatever age you want to be
Well, the way it works is they
with
implant,
that personality and that imprint?
they,
have you
they
got the
implant
Can you get
the
that
fetus.
personality?
Well, I don't know. Is it something in genetics? I don't know. It's
It's the consciousness, isn't it?
Fuck them anyway, pigs.
either way. I still clone my last dog.
Yeah, I guess, but it's
It
not.
could be a cunt.
It's not
And
real.
and if it's a cunt, then it's gonna sour your memories of the good dog.
I don't know. Blue will be alright. He'll be fine.
Plus, I think it's healthier just to let go and go through the process and start again with a new dog, and not just be such a, you know.
Maybe, but he was great.
Yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't. Anyway, fuck the
And he was
pig
only
dog.
he wasn't even 6, so he didn't have a good spell. You know, the 5 years out, I'm gonna be happy.
Well,
Give me his full span.
let's move on from the tragedy of lost friends and.
That's why I'm a twat.
And move on to the tragedy of
Full Alex.
Alex Jones.
So it's time to play Full Alex, where Mike will find us a couple of random weirdos on the internet and then put them up against the arch saint of insanity himself, Alex Jones. And remember, it's alright to go a little bit Alex, quarter Alex, half Alex, 3/4 is pushing it, but never go full Alex.
Yeah, don't do that.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
Right, so who's up first, Mike?
A loud man.
First up, Michael Fazio.
Heard that
I
name
remember
before?
him.
Yeah, I've had him before.
Yeah, in his weird, creepy workshop that hasn't got any.
Oh,
actual
Jesus, he's the guy
real
who kept going on
tools.
about Jewish people.
No, he's got about the dollar bill and he wants to make that film.
That's it.
That's
yeah,
right,
yeah.
but he's featured twice, and in
Yeah.
one he was going on about Jewish people doing something.
He could have done,
Yeah. He's just a fat, shirtless man. He reminds me a lot of Danny DeVito in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He does. I just know what it is about him. He just does.
Yeah.
So
Bear in
he's-
mind, some of his videos have got 1 million views.
And we haven't.
Well, no,
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Not yet.
Wow.
before I start the videos.
So what's Michael Fazio saying, Mike?
It's talking about cosmic consciousness.
Right. This will be interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen and children of the planet Earth, you all know me as Michael Fazio, and all my people that I grew up with know me as the crazy guy from Howard Beach. But what you don't know is why they thought I was crazy. since I was a child and stabbed to death and actually died on the operating table, and saw this vision of this, what I call the council, a dozen or so men in high wooden pews standing up with robes over their heads where I couldn't see their faces, but I could hear their voices inside my mind. I told this story to Dr. Sirota at the hospital on Linden Boulevard, across the street from Times Square store, and he told me it was a dream, and I told him it wasn't a dream, and he explained to me it was, and kind of left it at that, because in 1970, no one knew what an out-of-body experience was. However, I did experience this counsel. It explained to me that when I came back to life, if it was my choice to come back to life, that one day I would have to make it a promise to do the things necessary in order to change the world as much as I possibly could for the better. And I asked it what it was that I would do, and it explained to me that I would know when the time came. However, many years went by, and all I really got involved with was the fact of the out-of-body experience and the psychic world. And during the course of the time that I spent training to learn how to move into and out of the psychic phenomena world, I met a man named Zolar in my dreams, who used to teach me how to do things like building a boat in the dark without a ruler and without a pencil. I would just look at the boat from my basement and then cut a piece of wood without making any marks on the wood itself. Just pick a piece of wood up out of the pile, put it on the bandsaw, and cut it. And when I got outside to the boat, the compound nature of the cuts would fit precisely into place. Now this I did without a pencil, without going to the boat, which was 60 feet away, without looking at anything other than a blank piece of wood. Now, you say that's impossible. I say that's becoming one with the universe. It happens to people on occasion. It happens to people for a moment. They remember it for the rest of their life. I spent a year in that state of consciousness, during which time I met a fellow named Norm Tolson, who guided me to further and higher states of consciousness. Now, I'm not in that state of consciousness any longer. But what I learned in that state of consciousness is that the universe is vastly superior than anything the average normal person can possibly comprehend.
He's just mentally ill.
He's a really good carpenter, though.
Well, what
Build
actually,
boats then, don't I?
actually, what I would...
Without a pencil.
That's his superpower.
What I would suggest to this man is that he tried his little right-wing shtick when he was, I'm going to quote him, I'm sure he said, dirty kike bastards, if I remember. In his last
he said that.
I'm pretty sure he did. And in fact, if you go back...
Did he use that word?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Zionist, I think he used.
No, I'm pretty sure he used a very derogatory term for Jewish people.
Maybe.
And he said it a lot. I remember it. Now he's, you know what? That wasn't getting me anywhere. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to some UFO happy clappy shit. And say that I was abducted and...
He never said abducted, he said
Well,
a
near-death... When I was stabbed to death and then came back...
Hang on.
So you weren't stabbed to death,
Hang
clearly.
on. He was stabbed to death as a baby.
Did you say baby?
He said as a baby. Stabbed to death as a baby. They brought me back on the operating table.
It was his choice to come back.
Yeah, so when he was a baby, he can remember what dreams he had when he was a baby.
Right.
He met someone called Zolar who taught him how to build a boat in the dark.
Now, the thing is, I've been a bit of a detective now, and I'm trying to do a few conclusions. This man, he held up his business card, and it said kitchens. So this guy's a builder, or a carpenter, or something.
Yeah.
And he must be fairly good because he's got a house. Do you know what I mean? He's got somewhere to live.
He's got a basement to record his batshit insane videos on.
He's earning money. So my point is, this man outside of his videos probably just has a normal... He's the eccentric builder, you know.
I wouldn't either. Couldn't. I wouldn't want to speak to me. You know when you have someone round to do work,
Yeah, and they
right?
talk.
And they want to talk to you.
You wouldn't want to meet this guy?
No.
I would
Wouldn't
love
you?
to get...
I would love it.
have a session
Yeah.
with this geezer.
I love people like this because
he'd be...
He's a kook.
yeah, they're interesting.
Because he'd be fine for 10 minutes until he had a few beers and a couple of joints. The next thing you know, he's off on his fucking racist little rant. You'd hate him. That's him for the next 3 hours.
Well, he's nuts.
Look, he's a fat twat.
I think he's just... You're pissed off that he's got so many more views than we have. Just for being kooky and batshit insane. He's your run-of-the-mill bargain basement conspiracy theorist. Look, in the background we can see him on the TV.
I know, that's what bugged me the most, is the fact that I was watching him in the TV in the fucking background.
The TV in the background, he appears to be pointing out where there's owl shapes in the sort of Washington map. You know, he's your bug standard. 1 minute it's dollar bills, then it's the...
Oh, but he's a fucking lunatic.
He's no different than us.
He brightens up the
He
internet.
I like this one.
Several steps ahead of us. I mean, maybe in a couple of years we'll be like this.
And
We're
I
not as racist. But even so.
I like the fact that he's got like the Italian-American accent. You know, he's like, yeah, I do conspiracies on the weekend. I whack a few guys during the week, you know. He's cool. I like him.
He's a fucking knob.
He's cool.
I think he's interesting.
I'm actually going to look up Mr. Zola when I get home. Make Leona watch some of his videos.
And she'll tell you exactly the same as me, because she's actually quite sensible. I guarantee you, she turns and says, Gaz, he's a fucking knob.
I've seen this. This guy. This is
Oh.
epic.
I've read the headline, but I didn't watch the video. I read the article, didn't watch the video. Okay, So what? Televangelist can't defend his private jet in hilarious and awkward interview. Who is he? Do we know?
Forget his name.
He looks pretty wild-eyed.
He's unhinged.
I forget his name, to be honest.
Anyway.
But he's a televangelist, and he was the guy.
We've
We had a
talked
bit of
about
news, about him in the past, and he wanted a jet, didn't he? Private jet.
To stop.
He didn't want to fly on planes
Because
full of demons.
They're full of demons, that's right. Yeah, okay.
And he's being challenged on it.
So he fucking should be.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but...
Isn't it the business of your donors?
Listen, I paid. You kind of caught me off guard here, okay? Thank you, Lord. Help me. Just let me pray.
Well, let me just ask you a really simple question. A lot of people think it's unbecoming for a preacher to live a life of luxury and to fly around in private jets. What's your response to that?
Very simple. It takes a lot of money to do what we do. Without the airplane that we have that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere. Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
My question then, okay, all right, but I want to get to the demons, because people are very concerned about that comment.
Give you a chance here inside of this. I love your eyes.
Again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Can you explain what you meant by that term then? Just explain, because it's really simple. You said you didn't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. What did you mean? Do you think that people that fly commercial are demons?
Give me a chance to talk, sweetheart. I'll explain this to you. But it's a biblical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It doesn't have anything to do with people. People, I love people. Jesus loves people. But people get pushed in alcohol. Do you think that's a good place for a preacher to be and prepare to go preach to a lot of people? When somebody in there is dragging some woman down the aisle, it made me so mad to see that on television. I wanted to punch a guy out myself. I can't be doing that while I'm getting ready to preach.
So you just don't like to be around the sinful people or the hurtful people. Is that what you're saying?
Not the people, lady. Not the people.
To those critics that say that a preacher should not be living a life of luxury, what is your response to that?
They're wrong.
The Bible also says that it's more difficult for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to get through the eye of a needle, correct?
The rest of the scripture. But he said, all things are possible with God.
Wow. I'm sorry, but, you know, I'm not a fan of the old reptilian eyes fucking conspiracy on you. You see his fucking eyes?
He looks like a demon, doesn't he?
Fucking, you know, I've mocked possession in the past. Mocked it ridiculously. As a complete and utter batshit sidetrack to Christianity. But you know what? If anyone's possessed, it's that fucking dude. Because his face is... Oh, man, it's...
Do you know what it
It was like he was switching back between personalities.
It reminds
I think he's got multiple personality disorder.
of a very, like, think of a movie, think of a cliched evil southern preacher.
Yeah.
Just think of a cliched
Yeah,
evil
yeah,
character and the guy...
Leonardo DiCaprio in Django.
Yeah.
There you go.
creepy-
Cliched southern gentleman.
Creepy southern gentleman with that accent, but, like, he's just a cartoon villain.
Yeah.
But he's got, to be fair, he got happier when she asked that question about the eye of the needle, and he was like, ooh, gotcha.
Yeah, he knew then, yeah, he's got his response there. That's
all things are possible with God, that's his gag clause, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Well, I don't blame him.
He knows, look at fucking Jesus. He didn't hang about with the millionaires and the billionaires.
No, he was with 12 dudes in the.
He hung about with the poor, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't blame him, Mike. I blame the people giving him their money.
I want a career in this.
I'd love it. He's obviously one of them mega church preaching people.
And I'd hate it, because I know I'm lying to people, but, thinking, well, you know what? They just throw in like a fucking $100 in my collection plate at a time.
Enough to buy a fucking...
And he despises them so much, doesn't want to be anywhere near them.
Yeah.
Wants his own private jet, or be near with the scum.
And that's it. Oh, well, I saw a bloke. That's the best of it, though. He's like, oh, you mean people are drinking on the plane? I'm trying to get ready to preach. Well, where should we be preaching? Should we preach to that bloke who's getting drunk and tell him his ways are wrong? Should we going to help him? No, because you only want to help him when they're throwing $100 at a time on your fucking collection plate. Yep. So you can afford your private jet.
And then the creepy, I love your eyes, that he said, trying to disarm.
No, his own eyes were going fucking reptilian at that point. And he says, I love your eyes. It's almost like he was, oh man, he's possessed. I'm telling you, if there's a thing as possession, he's possessed.
Well,
he's certainly got multiple personality disorder.
I know who's next. Let's get on to him. The Don Juan John of fucking lunacy.
Oh, well, second bloke's winning it.
So far.
Been a classic Alex. And he proclaims his hate for coyotes.
Looks like he's crying.
Oh, he cries.
Okay.
Roll over and cry. Like in all the movies, the guy comes in with a knife, and the man or the woman goes, no, don't kill me. And like, somebody comes in with a knife, I'm going to say, nah! And just literally go, I mean, but see, that's because I'm a maniac, ladies and gentlemen. That's because I'm a maniac. No, I'm not. I'm red-blooded. I'm red-blooded. I'm ready to light a bunch of torches up and go running through the woods, running after mastodons to run them off a cliff and eat them. Piles of red meat. And that's why I'm free. Light the fires of liberty. We're coming to the castle. I mean, they have taken your humanity. These people fall down in front of coyotes that are eaten. Coyotes have never eaten people. Not in recorded history with the Native Americans or the settlers, coyotes didn't eat people. Only wolves would go after humans. That'd be a human alone if the wolves were starving. In deep winter, if wolves are starving, they will try to eat a man. They know we're tough. They gotta be starving to try to go after a man. Starving to death. Now, everywhere you go, I see signs up on the green belt. Where's my dog? Where's my cat? And I'm like, I saw some coyote crap down the thing. It was a dog bone, so it ate your dog. Of course, I won't tell him that. He walked the hiking bike trail, and you could see the coyote crap of people's cats and dogs. I could see cat bones, partially digested cat skulls, everything. And these people have signs up all over going, where's my doggy? Where's my kitten? It's not on the news. They're eating everybody's dogs and cats. I had coyotes coming out by my house trying to eat my French bulldogs, which I I just went out there one night with a double-aught shotgun, baby, left some meat out there, and they're dead. Tough little buggers. I found some of them. One time I shot a coyote in the head. A large goblet. I mean, almost a handful. Probably half its brain was blown out.
Let me guess, you never found the body. Yeah, I doubt that very much.
He's never shot a double shotgun thing going on.
No, he probably has shot a double-barreled shotgun, but never well, actually, he probably has shot at a deer or something.
I bet if coyotes turn up at his house, he calls somebody.
I'm more impressed. Well, actually, see, I'm a bit of a dog breed snob. Mm-hmm. I think that if you're a man, you should have a man dog.
Is that because you're deeply insecure about your own raging homosexuality?
No, it is not.
I'll just put on my psychologist cap for a moment.
No, I think that if you're a man, you should have a dog that is a bit more... It could be a female dog. Just the breed should be more manly.
You're allowed girl dogs then?
Yeah, they're girl dogs. I had a rotty bitch, she was lovely. But if you're a guy who's claiming to be as angry and manly as Alex Jones, you probably shouldn't have French bulldogs.
But French bulldogs are expensive as fuck, so it's like a status thing, isn't it? He's showing off. Yeah, I got a $2,000.
Oh, so now he's showing off that he's part of the elite that can afford a $2,000 dog.
Well, yeah.
For a fashion statement. So that's contradicting himself.
No, he's wealthy, but he's not the elite or the globalist scum, is he?
Well,
that he so hates.
I think he is.
I think...
Based on his choice of dog breed?
I think you've just admitted to being gay.
I don't.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, listener. Jesus, I'm woke. It's okay to be gay.
No. I think...
Ken's not woke. That wasn't very woke.
I think if you're a man... There's no way on earth, for example, I'd walk a poodle.
Well, why not?
It's a bit of a fucking shit dog, isn't it?
Is a woman allowed a, quote, man dog then?
Yeah, of course if they want to. I'm going to say it's personal preference. If I'm Alex Jones, I'm pretending this red meeting individual, French bulldogs are not the dog I'd have.
I get your point.
I'd have a couple of fucking Dobermans.
I see your point, but I think, French bulldogs, I think they're a couple of grand in English.
Yeah, they might be
money.
expensive, wonderful, fantastic, they're expensive, they're fucking inbred, they don't live very long. Well done. You just contribute to a breeding problem amongst the French bulldog breed. Well done.
Ben, you can hate his dogs all you want, he's still more successful and wealthy than we'll ever be.
Yeah, there is that. You still get a Rottweiler, Alex.
But he also, you're skipping out, I don't want to focus on the fact that Alex revealed he owns French bulldogs. I want to focus on the fact that he said he would chase mastodons off a cliff.
Yeah, with fire, 2 torches.
Yeah, so he can eat them. Yeah.
I love the bit where he said he was impersonating the woman going, "Oh, where's my dog? Where's my dog?"
And when he said,
I just saw some Cody crap over there. They had dog bones in it.
Yeah, and was it? And had a half-digested cat skull.
So he wants me to believe that a coyote's anus can pass a half-digested cat skull.
Yes, apparently it can.
He's fuck. Right.
I still go for the second guy.
Let's go through them. First guy, Michael Fazio.
Yeah, he's just a lunatic. I think he's just trying to be as weird as he can to get views.
That's why I like him. He's harmless.
No!
He's eccentric.
He's eccentric, but it's not full Alex. It's not full Alex. He's not going full Alex. He's doing it for the views
He's
and the
talking
money.
bullshit, isn't he?
He is, but we have to look at...
Think about what he's talking
about. Yeah, but I
about.
sense an underlying... I don't believe in this.
He can build boats in the dark. He can build boats in the dark.
Yeah, but maybe he went... if he is a skilled carpenter... If he is... Alright, let me throw you a theory out, okay? If he's such a skilled carpenter, right, he goes out, he puts the next piece of wood in, and he just visually fucking measures it up because he's a skilled carpenter.
Yeah, but he said
he's like, I went out there and it fit well done.
But he said he was in that heightened state of consciousness, but he's not in it anymore, he said.
No, alright.
He's gone back to being a shit carpenter.
So basically he can't build a boat anymore.
Not
so
in the dark.
I want to see the boat he built.
Built a boat in the dark.
Alright, let me see it. It's like you go out.
He didn't say it works, did he?
That's another valid point. He didn't say it fucking floated.
I mean, I could build a boat in the dark.
Me too. I could build a ship boat in the dark, but I can't guarantee it's going to float.
Look at these glasses, Ben. For the listener,
I know, he's doing that for effect.
He's wrapped a pair of glasses in like
tape,
like masking tape,
and he's just doing it for effect to look a bit more crazy.
Exactly. He's wacky. Oh, mad me.
He's fucking Dan DeVito in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's who he is.
I like him.
This guy is fucking he's either possessed or he's got multiple personality syndrome. Televangelist, whatever his name is. He wants a private jet.
Do you know what I'm doing right now, Ben? He already has 18,556 subscribers.
Yeah.
I'm about to become number 18,557. Woo!
Hoodwinked by an angel.
Michael Fazio. If you want to subscribe, listeners, just to wind up Ben. Let's get him up to 20,000.
Gaz, how about we tell people not to subscribe to him, but subscribe to us?
Subscribe to both of us.
Not as funny.
And both of us. Both of us is better. Which you can do on Facebook, which is Country the Bull in the Post of the Apocalypse. Twitter, Apocalypse Bull. Solar Warden Music on YouTube. What is it on YouTube?
Apocalypse Bull.
Apocalypse Bull. Look at that as well. Look at it. It's fun.
Well, his most recent video is titled 7 Secrets on Dollar Bill, Yale Skull and Bones, Owl on Dollar.
He's an old man that found fucking YouTube.
He's a treasure trove, mate. Once you delve into that, he's brilliant.
He's
I'm still going for televangelist. That's just insane. It was just the face he pulled. It's got me believing in possession.
Well, I'm voting Michael Fazio this week.
Right, well, I'm going televangelist. I don't think... Have we got a split decision? Will Gaz vote Michael Fazio just to annoy me?
No, I'm going to try and give an honest answer. I think I think I might have to go with the preacher, just because it's insane for him to even attempt to justify his position.
Yeah. Plus, he looks fucking creepy when he's doing it.
Yeah. And I think Mr. Fazio, he is mental, but I think in a sort of harmless, you know the type. You know, he probably goes to festivals and tags onto groups that he's not friends with.
Oh, yeah.
And they think he's awesome for a while, but by like hour 5, they're actively trying
by
to...
Hour 5, he's like, I'm just going to toilet to jack up. Does anyone want one? And you're like, no, dude. And he's like, well, meet me here, yeah? And then you move away. Then you move away. You're never going to near that spot again for the entirety of the festival. You stand somewhere else and you hope you never see him.
Yeah. So I'm going the preacher, man.
Preacher wins it then.
Wow. I'm like the fucking Ian Hislop of this game. I never fucking win, but today I have.
There you go.
That was a Have I Got News For You reference for anyone listening abroad. It's a quiz show. The other team captain, Ian Hislop, never wins. So,
right then.
Yeah.
We did it.
Thanks for listening to our Chernobyl special.
Woo, that was good.
I think we were fairly factual.
Yeah. Bit about my massive cock.
You're 2 massive cocks.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot.
4 balls. Yeah, thanks for listening. I've been Ben. Don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult.
I've been Gaz. Free Biff Tannen. Bye.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
How's your Jedi training going?
Going well.
Fantastic.
It's not question 2.